Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's Sunday, it's the end of the week, and that means we've got some good old Warframe. Hello and welcome, one and all. Hope you're doing well where you are around the world. Hello there, Brissinger et Balder. Ballad of Drock, I want to say. That's as close as I'm getting. Hello there, Ragnos. Hello, Lu. Hello, Zomtronic. Hello, Korokop. Hello, Rough Boy. Hello, F King. How are we all doing? Hello, Quaglio. Hello there, X74. Hello, Rixa. How's everyone doing today? Hello, Pendragon. Hello, Rascliffe Master. Hello, Grilla. Hello, Witherfang. And cheers, Korokop. As standard, of course. As standard at this point, we've always got a mug of tea to get going. How are we all doing? So, as today's stream title might suggest, I got a little bit of bile in mind. I don't mean literal bile, obviously, in-game. But yeah, the idea of bile, because with the Argon shards, we need more of it than we have ever needed before. I mean, if you're not swapping the shards around, you don't need any, but if you are swapping shards around, I don't have any on here for the demonstration, but point is, to take a shard off costs 50% bile, and it's never any of the other resources, it is always and only bile. Now, I've said extensively how much I dislike the fact that there is a diminishing return on this system when it is so integral to exploration and experimentation within Warframe. That's not great, but hey, it's a system we got right now. We can complain about it, we can also solve it. And by solving it, I mean figuring out what's the best way to get all these resources, plus probably the missing ones I haven't got on here, like Argon Crystals. Not only what's the best way, but which one of them is the best, or which few of them are the best, really. Well, hell, as an Orokin Cipher, this, I believe you get one every time you open up an Orokin Derelict Vault. So, those vaults you get over on Deimos... Yo, Andrew, didn't that come up last stream? Or recent? I swear that came up recently, Andrew, that you already did the 3 months. Am I... No, yeah, here we are. In fact, it was 2 days ago. Andrew445 resubscribed with Prime for 3 months. What? How are you doing that twice? How are you doing... in any case, thank you very much for resubscribing for 3 months a second time. Yeah, that's magic. Huh. Okay. Okay. So resource consuming? It is, yes. So, we got these kinds of things. We got the Omega Isotopes that only come around when there's a battle for Morium. We got Nav Coordinates, which just appear from everywhere. We got Somatic Fibers, which just demolishes on Lure. We got Void Gel Orbs, we get these over on the Zaraman. We got Thermal Sludge, that is on the open world of the Orb Valis. We got Tycho Plate, that is from Railjack. Morphix, as it shows there. Mercury, Mars, Phobos, Europa, and Pluto is just a rare drop. Javlok Capacitors, not actually sure on where we get those from. Isos, they are from Railjack. Diluted Thermia, that you get from doing the Thermia Fractures event. Cryotic Excavation, obviously. And then Anti-Serum Injector Fragments, which you get from the Infested Salvage mission only on Eris. Plus whatever else is missing off this list, like for example Argon Crystals, only from the Void, or other select places actually. Javloks from Prosecutors on Ceres, there we are then. Okay. So like, there's a lot of very different sources here, guys. A lot of very different sources, and that's frankly a little bit confusing. Void Gel Orbs are probably one of the top ones, because this hasn't been out for that long, and I've already got 1,200 of them. Also, yo, CEO Blizzard, continuing the sub they got from Adibelli. CEO Blizzard, thank you very much for continuing your sub there. Cheers, my dude. Appreciate it. So this is probably going to be the best resource, but this wouldn't be a very scientific process if we didn't have a look at the others. I already have a suspicion that we can rule out Omega Isotopes because the Battle for Moria is not around most of the time, so that is straight out. When it comes to things like the Orokin Ciphers, when it's 5 at a time, you've got to open up 5 different vaults. I'd imagine that takes up a fair amount of time. Likewise, Morphix, you're not getting them that quickly when it costs 40 a time. That you compare, I've got 1,400 of these. They've been out for how long? Void Gel Orbs, not out for that long. But yeah, as Rob was saying, we want to have 3 or 4 to use, because if you only have 1, then you're going to get diminishing returns before you've even charged up a single round of bile. If you're at 0%, this will only give you 30, and then it will give you 15. That's 2 rounds, and you still not get 50%. You need multiple resources for that to be worthwhile. And the more, the merrier. So if we know how long each one can be, we can get an idea as to how much bile someone can actually achieve every single day. That is the end goal of where we could take this theoretically, but we're at the start of that process. We're at the very, very start, and the very, very start of a stream is we start off with the sortie. So, if you would like to join in on today's sortie, guys, send me a message in game, the Engineer. I'll bring you on into the squad, and we'll tackle what today's sortie is going to be. You know, guess Kratic might be one of the best? Could be. Could be. Let's see, what have we got for the sortie day? We have got a hijack with enemy physical enhancement, and Pendragon joining in, and we have got Elio joining in. Oh, and we got Witherfang, who was late. Teflon Rage, very sorry, you were the fourth to message. Too slow on the draw there. Too slow on the draw. We got hijack today, enemy physical enhancement. We've got exterminate with a radiation hazard, and we have defense with energy reduction. Okie dokie. But I won't be using Lavos for the hijack, which is probably for the best. Zom has decided I'm going to be using a Revenant. As they put it, a frame so simple even the dead can play him. How about a Reeve build using raw and viral procs to one-shot enemies with Reeve even if they're not enthralled? Very specific. Very, very specific. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see about doing that, shall we? So, one Revenant. Let's see, do I have a build that is used for just screwing around? This isn't fully modded, so I'm going to... Oh wait, no, this is a pillage build. Let's have a look at a different one. Let's have a look at a different one. This is unmodified, so we can work with this one. Also, is that Mitterly? Mitterly, yes, Mitterly. Thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. Welcome to the channel, proper, my dude. Oh. Enjoy your lovely new blue badge. Your remotes to go with it. You'll have access to supporter D-Lounge and no ads on this stream anymore. Also, I noticed that I didn't ever actually finish up the sub goal for September. We're not in September anymore. That one finished, and yeah, you guys absolutely smashed it with the subathon. Absolutely, completely destroyed that. Love it. Thank you very much, guys. But let me get rid of that old goal now because that is done. Don't want that confusing anyone. You know, race me through the sortie? Well, we aren't really racing Gorilla, so you do that. You do that. Was it too specific? No, no, no. Tom, that's actually the kind of thing I want Pick a Frame to be, is more specific. You're very specific there, but it's a lot better than just saying Mother. And just gormlessly stopping there. So, you know, a lot better in that regard. So, let's see. If we start dismantling this build, we can work with it. This is a very high duration build. Not what I need. So, let's get rid of that duration. We can get rid of that there, and we can... That's killing our strength, so I think we can dump that one as well. Also, Pendragon, subscribing with Prime, now up onto 4 months. Pendragon, appreciate it. Cheers. Oh. Thank you very much, dude. What does the Kengineer mean? It means the Kengineer. That's what it means. It doesn't stand for anything. It is a name. It is my name, the Kengineer. There may be others who have adopted the name Kengineer here or there. They probably shouldn't, but there may be others. But I am the Kengineer. That's my name. Right, let's see. If we're going to be killing enemies and just wrecking through them, enemy radar is actually going to be more helpful than corrosive projection here, because this is a direct health drain, so we don't actually need to worry about armor. So I'm not going corrosive projection here. Hello, Darklight Boy. How you doing? So, let's have a look at what we need to achieve that. Now, those are the stats right there for the damage on a Thrall, but Thralls take, was it triple? Or quadruple? Something high. How much is it? I do actually need to know that number. Let me just check here. Reeve, Revenant, Warframe, Wiki. Where is it? Oh, Thralls take 5 times as much, is that? Am I reading that correctly? Enemies passing through the energy current are drained 8% of their maximum shield and health. Or Thralls take 5 times as much. God damn, yeah, okay. Wow, that is a lot to work with. Okay. So, 8% is the base. We need to get that to 100% to fully smack them. Now, viral proc halves that, so that sounds 50%. But we still need to get to 50% from 8. That's a lot. That's a hell of a lot to achieve. I mean, it's probably doable, but yikes, that is high. We're going to need all of the strength here. So, duration allows this to go further. I would like to avoid dropping out the duration entirely, but let's see what we can do here. If I go for Blind Rage straight away, anything. So, Blind Rage, we'll bring this up to 16 point something or other. 17-ish%. That's still nowhere near it. Raw helps if you're okay with something to I mean, I know I can do raw, but there's a limit. Volatile cane for giving strength. I don't know if the mission will last long enough. And we'd certainly need to get to the kills for it to actually be effective at that point, rough boy. Oh, you mean the... Wait, no, you mean the operator one, not the... Not the Malt Augmented. Is it on the... Is it on us? Malt Vigor, there we go, Malt Vigor. Okay, I've not got a max ranked one, but it is indeed a thing I can use, so that will bring up some strength, you're right. There we go, so that's an option. I might as well go for Malt Augmented as well, just pile on the strength where I can to try and make this work. I can't go for Growing Power because it's not going to match Polarity, I'd be screwed in other ways. I can use the Depolarity here for Amar's Hatred. I can at least grab some extra strength that way. It's not a lot, but it is some more. If we drop Augur Reach, we go Augur Secrets instead, so that's more strength. There we go. We've only got 5 blooming Polarity left at this point. Prime Flow, maybe we can skip that out for Streamline. Make up the efficiency rather than anything else. Bring it down a bit there. That gives us 10 to play with. Can I get some more strength in? I mean, I could go for actually Transient Fortitude. How am I going to make that fit? How am I going to make that fit? I could swap the Intensify, but there's only 25% delta. I could drop the Stretch. I know we've got the neutral range. Duration is still actually in a fine spot there. We've only got 3 to play with if I do that. 4. It's all feeling a little bit tight. I could up efficiency, it'll generate... Oh, you'll generate energy for me. Okay, well, I forgot energy being supplied to us. We can drop the Streamline then. The energy total I have, though, is absolutely abysmal. With full energy, I'll be able to cast twice. I am feeling actually just at least having a flow in here. This only leaves 5. I mean, if that strength isn't enough, to be quite honest, we're at 323, we're going to be piling on more. If that strength isn't enough, then it's impossible. So we're already at 24, we'd need then the raw on top. The raw with this might do it enough. Might do enough. Might do enough. Could I put on Argon Intensify? There's basically no point. There's basically no point, I'd say, because... I suppose it would give... Actually, yeah, it would give capacity, wouldn't it? If I can get the heal, if it triggers it, then yeah, if it triggers it, we can try it. I'm going to say mowing the lawn right now, then some of us wiki folks doing a Terraria playthrough. Oh, fair do. Have fun with that, my dude. I know you can stack viral higher than 1, but we don't want to rely on having to use multiple viral stacks. That's diminishing returns, really. We have to go multiple viral stacks, that's just going to hurt us. If I do that, I can then also squeeze on Power Drift. We get 311. With this, it is 341. With that, 341, 380, I want to say. Yeah, it's 380. And then with every kill, we're going up higher than there. On second cast and above, as long as we keep up the operator timer on this as well. Actually, wait, no, that's only on the next cast. We're going to be using this more than once per operator cast. That's not going to do a lot at all. No, that's not good at all. I don't want to be switching to operator every single cast. That's terrible. Switch to operator and cast ability. No. I'll pick up a different arcane for that one. That's just not going to be worth it to Garcia. Let's see. Arcane Energize, of course. Energy pickup. I know that Witherfang's going to be providing energy, but that's just going to support that further. For those moments I am away from a Witherfang, so that's going to work out in my favour. And given I can't fit anything else, I might as well just take the max ranked flow. There we are. Okay, that's as close as we can get it. This is a really scuffed build by the looks of it, but it's as close as we can get it. Let's remove Dance Macabre for Raw and give it a whirl. Anything a companion can do? Not much, really. Not much in this regard.
This thing is responsible for biological
Alright, infused in A. Well,
a strange design.
shit.
Why would I be built with such a flaw?
What? I just did all that and it's apparently infused in A. Are you kidding me? What? Where is it infused in A? It's infused in A right there. Okay. Cool. Sure. I really can't be bothered to mess. I'll link the configs in the squad chat. Then I can swap them around. Don't mind me, just using squad chat to bounce my configs. There we go. Alright, so I want to apply this one to A. I want to apply this one to B, just so I have them all stored up. There we are, I can switch them again later. Alright, there we are, that saved me some resources, didn't it? Your laptop's freaking out, someone else can have your spot. Well, Several Rage, I believe, was already rating us through the sortie, so we'll just take it as a 3-man. He's fine. Alright, let's do this. I also need to have a viral weapon. Let's go for the Epitaph. Is this my status spreading Epitaph? No, it's not. Is this one my status spreading Epitaph? There we go. Viral heat. That should do just fine. You're on the last mission now. See, I told you it wasn't a race, Gorilla. We're busy setting up bits and pieces. We're doing a little bit more than just a sortie here. That's what it is. This your 4th day doing still path incursions? Fair do. All the best with those. Defense going to be the bane of your existence? Oh, is it the Corpus defense tile again? Is it really that again?
We are here to hijack
I hope not. Alright. Activate Mesmer Skin, I have no energy. I don't have Xenoric. That was dumb. I have no energy. Now I have energy. Excellent. Alright. And I just got nullified. Oh, you absolute bellend. Alright. Gotta love a nullifier, just wrecking everyone's fun. Wait, someone activate that? Hopefully I don't get nullified again, because it's sortie. Oh, right. I'm just going to end up killing them trying to prime them, aren't I? There we are. Okay, there you go, Zom. It's a thing. Not against the Corpus. Against the Corpus, it's freaking terrible, and you have to prime everything. You know how much I hate status priming. But I'm not trying to kill them. They're dying to my status primer. This is a terrible time to have picked this Zom. You know we start with the sortie, and everything is literally dying too quickly for me to do a proper demonstration. Not to mention, I can't even push the objective or I get nullified. Yeah. Here's a thing. I mean, look at that. They instantly exploded. You need to pick up the Epitaph? Yeah, go for it. This is supposed to be the status form. This is not the damage form of it. Everything's just dying to my Sentinel and to my primer. Ugh. Well. This should be a challenge. And it's dead. I need more Eximus units. Give Eximus. Whoa. I think I might have Cascade on this Prime, if that matter. Got a point there. I might have Cascade on it. Which, given that this is supposed to put out more status procs than you can shake and stick at, yeah, that'll be why the low level units are dead. I mean, I think it's killing them, but I think they're just also, you know, so weak they'll die because I happen to be in their general vicinity. Which kind of defeats the entire purpose. As obviously, also, I didn't see the dev stream, but for Revenant Prime, they apparently used the Feather Tech Protea Deluxe for more depth to the energy, which is really neat because energy on base web looks kind of sad. Yeah, I used the Deluxe. But you're right. The energy on him does look a bit... So at least we got some more advanced stuff for the Prime, you know, thing. I'm just going to keep using the Prime. I mean, I don't have to do anything else. We got LU there, just walking it in. Or apparently not. We got LU there, just walking it in. Easy peasy, really. Easy peasy. So yeah, sorry, not nullified. Raw, Viral, Reeve, Revenant. Interdasting. When does Revenant Prime come out? Soon. Soon. Is it 5th of October? Oh, I didn't realise the date had been announced. My bad. I've caught up with the summary details of the dev stream. I didn't want to spend 1.5 hours watching a dev stream, going over stuff we already know, stuff they're thinking about, and getting snippets of stuff that's actually going to exist. I prefer to have, you know, just posts and press releases for that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see all the dates that come out. Alright, on to the next mission for the sortie. We have Ragnos saying, "Yeah, just kidding. How about some Zaku action?" Okay, Ragnos. What do you want from Zaku? What do you want from Zaku? Just adding more words to pick a frame doesn't make it a legitimate pick a frame. We've had discussions about this, chat. Every single one of you. Pick a frame says, request a frame for the next mission and what you would like to see, e.g. a Lavos mecha build. Troll picks and inappropriate choices may be declined. So what do you want to see? Putting the words, how about some action around Zaku does not qualify as an actual request. Augment build question? Okay, cool. That is not a proper answer. I'm going to skip that, Ragnos. You're getting the points back. Korokop, you requested for Battle Pope Harrow. In case anyone's wondering why I've said that's not a proper answer, there's not just one augment for Zaku. So I'm just shutting that one down. Korokop, Battle Pope Harrow. Yes, we know he's the Battle Pope. What build would you like to see for him? What do you want to see from Harrow? You were late? Yes, you were late, Ragnos. You made the request and then didn't actually finish your request. Yeah. Korokop, what do you want to see? If anyone's wondering why Picker Frames gone through changes over the time, this is exactly why. Invincible Harrow doesn't exist. Try again. You might discover that Harrow's ability to go invincible only lasts for a short amount of time, and then twice that time he is not invincible. So you literally can't be invincible forever. That is just one temporary aspect of one ability. If these are the builds you think you're seeing around, if these are the kinds of things you're getting confused about, guys, this is why you're struggling, because he can't be invincible forever. Then create Harrow. Okay, fine, we'll just bring out the standard Harrow build, and we'll shoot the standard weapons in a standard fashion. Sure. Yeah. Pick a frame was meant to be for lessons. Yes, I know, during the subathon, I was lenient on it. That was because it was a goddamn subathon. There was once upon a time where a frame could actually be functionally immortal. That was not Harrow, that was Hildren. But that has been patched. It was in the game for a very long time and it's gone. You just want to see me on Harrow. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of figured Garagop. It's not what Picker Frame's there for. Between Revenant and Nidus, who is better in general and who is more fit for an aggressive playstyle? Very good question. Very good question. Who is better in general? I will say that Nidus seems to have more offensive capabilities. Alright, so we got the maximum crits going. Excellent, there we are. Nidus has more offensive capabilities because he's got crowd control. Oh dear, I've got a rab proc. And I'm dead. Yay! Invincible Harrow. Yeah, so Nidus can gather up enemies. He can strike them with a scaling amount of damage. And he could use his link to pass over damage and status effects to another enemy or boost up an ally as well. Revenant, on the other hand, is more defensive because he has got his... Oh, I'm dying. Someone else's AoE again. Let me just send myself off the map so I can recast this. If Revenant, his main thing is Mesmer Skin, which is exceedingly defensive. Aside from that, Enthrall, more of a defensive tool than offensive, turning the enemies against each other. I am probably going to die if I'm not careful. His 3 is a damage dealing ability, but it more focuses on the enemies that have been primed for it. And his 4, whilst a damage dealing ability, isn't the best. It's high damage, but it's high damage on star chart. I would say Nidus is probably the one you can consider stronger. We're alive. Haven't used much of Harrow's kit here because frankly didn't need to. Actually, the main focus was not dying to radiation procs, which Harrow is not a good pick for, by the way. He can go invulnerable for a bit, and then he's just made all of his allies even better at killing him. Not a good pick. That's just how it be. When it comes to these kinds of missions, if you want to be really safe and careful, none of these are the right ones to pick. For general safety, I would say things like Rhino, Nezha, Revenant, those are all solid picks because they can just give the middle finger to status procs without screwing up their allies. So Blizzard is saying, Engineer, you praised the Foreman a lot in your videos a year ago. Do you still think it's a top tier weapon? It's still a very strong weapon. It is not top tier anymore. It is not. So with the Foreman, it's still very good, A tier but not S. Reason being is that whilst it has got significant damage output, even back then you needed to former it to the 9s, literally all the formers, in order to get it all the way up to that maximum power. Other stuff has come out since with more power on fewer formers, so they can get to a higher level. Foreman simply starts falling behind. It's got a wide body projectile, which is not a true AoE, so it can still hit multiple targets, but you still need to target stuff, and you can't hit things through or behind cover, which AoE weaponry can. And the damage does reach to a limit. You see per shot here, it's a bad way to compare, but per shot we're starting at 2800, and this is with a Serration based build, my all-purpose one. So the Foreman is still strong. It can still crit pretty damn scarily. Granted, I have got a ribbon for that. But it is limited in comparison to more modern weaponry like the Tenet Envoy, which absolutely slaps. Where the Foreman still shines is that it doesn't have ammo issues. Whilst it has recharge issues, it doesn't have ammo issues, so you can just keep firing for days. So even if you are under-geared, you're not going to run out of ammo, whereas your AoE weaponry, most weaponry does run out. The Foreman is also naturally silent, so it's still good for stealthy gameplay if you want to do that. But yeah, it has fallen behind because newer stuff has power crept it out. With Fang saying, hey, get is puncture on the Heck Archon one-shot build important? The puncture? The puncture? Don't remember calling out puncture about it specifically. I'm going to guess you've got a negative puncture ribbon. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You're modding in so much elemental damage that you'll be fine. At least you should be. And yeah, you're modding in lots of heat there, so the loss of puncture, it's not the end of the world. The base puncture on it, there is a lot of base puncture, granted, but you should be fine. The main bits are multi-shots. and crits. Those are the main bits there. Moon say, I see you've gotten your hands on one of the official Valve mugs, Aperture Black Mesa. Any idea when one might get one these days? Unfortunately, the website I got this from has since closed down, so no idea, sorry. No idea on that one. The website is closed. Alright, we've had our Harrow. Let's see what we got here. Squirbo asking, for the third and final mission of the sortie, can I see a Smite Infusion Oberon full strength? Sure. That is an absolutely fine request. Let's do that. Yeah, it's the same with where I got my sword from. That website has also closed down. Probably because they were selling swords in the UK. Don't know how allowed that is, but there we are. I got it before it did vanish, so that's fine. My sword? Yeah, my sword. Have you... Cosmo, you've been around here a while. You don't know about my sword? Where did I put that? There it is. I don't know if I'm actually allowed to show weapons on Twitch, but it's not a gun, so, you know. I do literally have a short sword. It's only a short one. Only a short one. But, like, you know, it is literally a sword. I won't unsheath it because that, I think, would be against Twitch TOS. But, yeah, it is a replica of Sting. I'll just partially unsheath. It's not unsheathed, Twitch. Don't get rid of me forever. But it is a replica of Sting, including the... effectively replica of the elven writing. But yeah, it's short. It is a sword, an appropriate size for a hobbit, but then I also am an appropriate size for a hobbit at 5'5", so you know what? It's a sword. Those of you who are like, it's tiny! Yes, so am I. Deal with it. Deal with it. Alright then, let's make an Oberon build. So I've got an empty slot here. I have! Wonderful, let's do it. Seeing as we're going to be putting out Sailor's Rocks, properly growing power's a good start. I'm hobbit-sized? Yep, I'm hobbit-sized. I'm absolutely hobbit-sized. I mean, hobbits are probably actually shorter, but in terms of the typical human population, I'm hobbit-sized. Proper term is Mamlet. You come up with whatever term you damn well please, Gorilla. At the end of the day, short king. Right, so we're going to need Smite Infusion. That is kind of core to a Smite Infusion build. We also need lots of strength for this request. Let's get a lot of strength. There we are. We're already absolutely smashing it at 254%. Hope you guys like radiation damage. You're going to have it. Take it from there. You know what? I don't want to bowl myself over every time I fire a shot, so Prime Sure-Footed sounds like a good idea. I would like the buff to last more than a couple seconds. So let's get some primed continuity into here. Some dash polarities are begging for me to do something with them. So let's get some streamline. I would go fleeting expertise, but my duration does not want to be murdered. So let's do that. Let's see as well. You know what? A bit of flow so that I can pick up all of the energy available to me. Let's get the Arcane Energize to support that. And whilst we're on that, let's go for a Arcane Avenger. Why not? Let's get extra crits cracking whilst we do so. And then to wrap it off, maximum strength is what they said. Maximum strength is what you get. All the secrets. Bam, there we go. It's not quite a finished build, but it is a build. I'm saying, like 5-2, not alone. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. There we are. So that is... It's a bit wonky. It is a little bit wonky, I will admit, because the cost of that, 31.25. Whilst we have a max energy of 744, it's actually filling it that could be interesting. These other abilities could be a bit spicy as well in terms of the energy drain. We'll see. But Squirbo, this feels like it should do what we need it to do. Feels like it. So, let's bring appropriate weaponry for this now. We got loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of radiation. And, yeah, let's bring a Tenet Envoy with all the radiation in the world. Why not? What could go wrong? Yep, let's do that. I am going to switch myself at this point over to Xenoric, so that if I do need energy, I can get it. Out of curiosity, is there a way to include weapons in pick-a-frame builds? Whilst you can add a weapon into the text as well, I can make no guarantee on it. Partly because I may not have it, partly because I may not want to use it, frankly. Pick-a-frame is pick-a-frame. Anything outside of that is purely a suggestion. Hell, pick-a-frame itself is a suggestion, but it's a suggestion I rate higher than normal suggestions. You got gentle request, picker frames and other channel point redemptions, bit and sub supported stuff, and then me. That's the tier list. Thing is, the thing it needs to do is kill level 100 core percent defense tar. I mean, that should be fine. Max strength and no more. Well, there's max strength and then there is max strength. We still want to kill stuff, you know. All right, that is active. Oh, this is an energy reduction sortie. Good thing I used the freaking prime flow, isn't it? Hellfire! I didn't realize we were on energy reduction. Woo, boy, that would have been spicy. That would have been spicy. Good old Prime Sure-Footed, removing basically all of the downsides of using an AoE weapon. People are like, no, AoE is just fine with no self-damage. AoE is just fine with the current ammo situation. Like, to an extent, like, I am just basically finding a group of enemies and just putting a missile into them. Ammo should probably be a bit more conserved in this playstyle than this. But to be honest, I'm not that fussed. It's more the non-AoEs at this point that can do with having a place. Because if they're not going to be made to be the killers, if AoE remains the killer, then we need something else for non-AoE to be good at. Oh, I see it. Dark Professor saying, hello there. Can you tell me can you tell me for farm Octavia systems I only need open one Argon Vault? Argon Vault's not where you get Octavia systems. No. You should go have a look at the wiki. Open up Google, Warframe, wiki, Octavia. Have a look at the acquisition details there. It's definitely not an Argon Vault. That is not what you need to be looking for. I've just realised as well, chat, we're on the third and final mission, Sortie, aren't we? Where's my prediction? Oh, let me get this for you. Which reward will we get from today's Sortie, guys? You got 2 minutes to get in on the prediction. Grab those lovely blue spanners at the bottom of your chat window and make a prediction. Is it going to be an Anasa? Is it going to be a ribbon? Is it going to be a booster? Or is it going to be a legendary core today? You never know. Make your prediction. Whoever's right, you walk it away with a bunch of extra spanners. We've seen a lot been won recently. I think saw gambled 100,000 spanners in a prediction. Yeah, it's Quintus, wasn't it? He lost. The system's the Cassius Lure Exterminate. Alright, yeah, there you are then. When it comes to acquiring basic frames, definitely refer to the wiki. It's all 100% up there. They got the deets. The information with regards to the expected runs, I don't believe is correct. They're still last I checked, they were still using the incorrect equation, but it's close enough. It's incorrect at low values. At high values, it roughly averages out to the same, which is why I think they didn't care to change it, or the person made a mistake in the first place. But yeah. As someone who dug into all of it, I'd like to say that I'm pretty much an authority on that regard. This guy just wanted to die, didn't he? Give, why can't, give, thank you. Oh yeah, I've not been using this. Hui! There we go, have some extra radiation, me. Anyone there? Yeah, have radiation. Oh, I know you didn't want it. I don't know if you didn't want it. You may not have asked for it, you got radiation, deal with it. I was gonna say, oh, accidentally bet 4 times. What did you bet on, Cosmo? What did you bet on? Did you bet on Riven? You bet 6,000 on Riven. Ooh, boy. Oh, yes, you had better hope you were right there. You had better hope you are right there. The usual. Arcane Energize coming in clutch there. It's getting a bit low on energy. It's a good thing it was defense. We had time to settle the mission. True. If this was a Phobos assassination, the mission would have been over before I remembered there was even a prediction to do, wouldn't it? Push being buggy, so you press the button lots. Ah, yeah, nah, yeah, nah, nah, yeah, nah. Nah. When things are being buggy, when things are being slow, you press the button and hope that it works. If you press it multiple times, you are just begging for it to go wrong. Printers love it when people do that. You do that with a printer, it's like, sorry, what? Didn't hear you. Didn't hear you. What was that? You clicked me 50 times. Here's 50 sheets of the same thing. Yeah. Printers will absolutely marmalize you over that. Printers are the devil? They certainly do seem to be. I mean, mostly it's inkjets, you know. Mostly it's inkjet printers, which are the absolute bane of existence. A laser printer usually isn't so much of a problem. Like, drivers can still be an issue, but you don't get the same old, oh, sorry, the inkjet's clogged up. I need a clean page now. Every single freaking time. Ooh, nearly dropped that. A laser printer, like, oh, you want a page printed? Yep, here it is. Bzz, done. It's just if the drivers go, oh, you want a page printed? Here's a, oh, I don't know how to anymore. Then it's a problem. Brother laser? Yeah, I think I have a brother laser printer myself. Got on eBay, stupidly cheap. I'd say I was an absolute win. The power of picker frame, please be right. I mean, Squirbo, you're hoping to be right, but you also gambled on Rivens. So all of those channel points that Cosmos poured in there, you ain't getting any of them. Whether you win or lose, you're not getting them. They're going back to Cosmo, and everyone else will just be upset then. The trick with predictions, when they are a complete gamble like this, is to actually gamble on the thing that other people aren't gambling on. That way you can actually win something. Let someone else throw all the spanners in there, and then you just go for something different. Zon, don't know what to tell you, we're already on synth. We're already on the synth. I know you might not hear it over the sound of WAP. We are definitely already on synthwave. As I'm saying, lesson learned, gamble more so you get more back. I mean, if someone's trying to contest your gamble, you gamble more so that you get the bigger slice of the pie, yeah. So that's what it comes down to, slices of pies. If yours is the biggest slice, you're getting the biggest payout. There's some. I mean, can I just stand here? I can stand here. Let me refund you those points, Zom. You just couldn't hear it. There we are. And Trey J. Cheers. Bleeding out. How in the actual F is he bleeding out? I'm Oberon. I have got my heals up constantly. He should be fine at all times. How are you not healing? Yeah, let's recast that right next to you and make sure this time you decide to be healed. That is really weird that he was not being healed. What? I'll kill you as soon as I reload. Thank you. Energy generation affects me. Well, your energy generation won't affect me because I've got a constant drain ability active. So that's going to prevent me from picking up recharge over time energy. Yeah. That little thing that you did, like, oh, well, if you're spamming an ability, like a nuke ability all the time, that's fine. But if you've got an ability that turns on, well, we don't want you gaining energy through half of the means available, because that would just be, and I don't actually know the answer to that one. I genuinely don't know the answer to why a drain over time ability should prevent you from gaining energy over time too. I don't see the balance to it, other than to just make those abilities worse. Another one. Do you think the operator is immune to Warframe healing powers? No, you can certainly heal them through certain ways. You can certainly heal them. I know for a fact I used to heal them using Limbo's Rift Haven. I tried that out as a tactic in arbitrations, especially. Some stuff works. Attempt to stop AFKs? Ugh. If it was an attempt to stop AFKs, it failed miserably. I mean, if you've got a drain over time ability that allows someone to play the game AFK, that's a poorly designed ability, frankly. That's not a reason to nerf an entire class of abilities, so I don't accept that as an answer. If it was the answer, it's a dumbass answer, and I reject it. Basically. That kind of answer, if that was the answer, and I just want to make this clear, brother, I'm not saying this at you, I'm saying that at the potential dev, if that were the case. That kind of answer is on the same tier as in the dev stream, where they said about how they couldn't make unique mechanics for all three of the Archon fights because they didn't have the time. That's why they needed to use damage attenuation rather than do something like the Orb fights or the Row Below list, to make it where the fight actually lasted a reasonable amount of time without some unique mechanics to make it a mechanical fight. I don't like that answer. I genuinely do not like that answer as to why the fights are like how they are. Because that's saying, oh, we put out a product that actually could have done with more work, but we didn't. Our release schedule prevented us from doing that. Sorry, that's a very bad thing to say. Come up with a far better reason than that, please. But if we got one Archon fight with the others in the pipeline, as it were, one Archon fight, and they said, oh, but by the way, here is a really mechanically involved fight, so that you can't just DPS it down. Okay, cool, wow, a really well thought out boss fight. Holy shit, that'd be great. What we've got is... I don't know. I don't know, I mean, they've got interesting abilities. It's a little bit harder to engage with those abilities when the game system is set up such that if you make one mistake and die, you just lose. It's an interesting one. So they got abilities, and then they got this damage attenuation formula, and they, in the dev stream as well, they're kind of like the equivalent of putting their hands up going, well, we don't know what we could do with it. We're looking into things. I can tell you one thing. If you're concerned about people having too much damage, and your answer to that is a damage attenuation equation, maybe make the damage attenuation equation include all sources of damage. And yeah, the operative is healing very quickly. Look, he's healing right now, even whilst taking damage. It's just he's taking too much damage, that's what it is. He's dying too fast for me to heal him as Oberon. GG Oberon. Trinity wouldn't have this trouble. Mechanical fights are so much better than bullet sponges. Yeah, bullet sponges are the worst type of unit anyway. Hey, I saw that. Hey, love it. Hey, and it's a Riven mod. Cosmo, you're lucky today. You're lucky today. You're keeping your points, Cosmo. You are keeping those 6,000. In fact, you're getting back some more in the process. Gambling. I know. Yeah, don't do it, kids. But anyway. You're keeping your points, and you're getting a little bit back in the process. 35% more, in fact. There we go. Yeah. Look at this. Look at it this way. They created the damage attenuation formula. That was created. It's not something that stumbled into the game one day and they went, oh, I guess this is what we got to work with. That's not how game development works. That's not how programming works. They're not trying to work with the base code of the universe. It's not like someone's doing a study of the speed of light and going, oh, it had to come to some awkward number rather than exactly 300 million meters a second. It's not that. It's not someone looking at pi. Why is it some irrational number? They created the system. And they created a system which doesn't properly account for multi-shot, doesn't account for headshots, doesn't account for critical hits. They chose those. They also created a system whereby only 4 of any given status can apply, so status isn't a viable answer for damage. They chose those. And then in choosing those, it left a big gaping hole the size of the Kuva heck for someone like me to come through and go, oh, well. Got it. If you want a damage attenuation formula, start by looking at how we deal damage. That includes multi-shot, that includes crits. They caught most of the other stuff. They caught radiation having its bonus damage, that was attenuated. They caught viral procs creating bonus damage, that was attenuated. They caught the pure damage bonuses from various sources, including from Void Strike, that was all attenuated. Primary stats, multi-shot and crits weren't. And then they're like, eh. Does buff for status weapons since it feels like they don't work anymore? Well, they don't. Not against bosses like that. If their boss formula is it can take a max of 4 status procs, then status-focused weaponry, certainly multiple statuses, doesn't. What's the best element against Archons? Radiation. Just straight up radiation is the right answer there. It's why the Rhino I suggested. It's why the Rhino I suggested was using radiation to just really buff that up as well. You could go for, what do you call it? Mirage is, oh no, you can't do Mirage Eclipse on it because they're raw. Yeah, Smite is, I think, the best pickup you could go for. I think it might be. Yeah, Rhino, I think that might be the best ability you can put on. Hold on, let me just ultra check that one again. I still think it is the best, but I'm going to quadruple check. And yes, that is a lot of Roombas. Yep. It's best out of those, best out of these. Specify can give you more ferrite armor, that's about it there. You don't want more shots, energized munition isn't necessary, armor stripping doesn't work. That was another thing, they're like, yep, here's armor stripping stuff, by the way, it doesn't work. Okay. Yeah, looks like that's about the best one, really, isn't it?
As you know, I have sustained memory system damage.
Ultimately, Warframe's design doesn't really permit easy development of bosses. I appreciate that is difficult for those who are currently in the development of Warframe. They didn't start the development that way. They are now in the current development of Warframe, and that is a tough act to follow. Watching my YouTube videos right now? That's awesome. Glad you're over here at the stream too, my dude. Oh. Welcome in. Yeah, it is a tough act to follow. It is a tough system to work with because the difference in damage is absolutely staggering. I mean, let's look at the status primer I had, for example. This thing that was killing in the sortie when I didn't even intend it to do so. On here, I haven't got a single direct damage buffing thing. I have got multi-shot, so that is increasing it by 2.7 times. It's a 2.7 multiplier, in fact we can see that there. Alright, take care of you. And then we've got these, these 3, all adding on 180% elemental, so the damage is effectively 2.8 times 2.7 so far. And then the fire rate, if we just rock with that fire rate, theoretically speaking, is it slash? How much slash is there? That slash, I'm going to say that slash is what, 40% of the base? It's something like 40% of the base. So that's another 36%, so it's not 2.8, it's about 3.1, 3.2. I'm going to say 3.2. And then the fire rate, 1.9. So this in itself, the multipliers I've got here, not even counting Castahedra Empowered, the multipliers here over the base stats are already increasing the damage 16-fold, and I've not tried to increase the damage. This is a status primer. Just side Steel Path, any advice for you? Take it at your own pace. It's going to be a much higher level of stuff. You're going to need to focus on your builds a lot more. Try to counter the enemies you're against compared to the star charts and arbitrations. If you haven't yet done arbitrations, probably do those before you do Steel Path. Would the Felox be worth using after the buff? I mean, the Felox was already worth using to an extent. It is broken at the moment, however. So on the Felox, you've got this ability here, or this evolution. Reload increases fire rate by 10% per shell. Currently broken, doesn't work. We'll see when that gets fixed, but for now, that actually doesn't do anything, and that does make it feel a lot more rough than it should, in my opinion. But you just switch out for a different evolution for now. But yeah, the Felox is worth using. It's still a very strong weapon. The buffs have made the Incarnate form into a wide body projectile. Not very wide, but it is a wide body projectile. Give it a try. Play with it. See how you feel with it. That's the basic rundown there. The Felox, whilst we're on it, let's see what I have in terms of multipliers here. This is where you'll see just how crazy the damage scaling is in this game. You guys already understand it, but let me show you just how far it really is on a build like this one. So, multi-shot, I've got just from one thing here. So, Galvanized Hell at full stack, which is 230%, that's a 3.3 times multiplier. Primary Merciless, 360% at full stack. With then the damage bonuses from this, let's say these are really low numbers, so let's say I only get 3 status procs at once. So 3 status procs on full stack of this is another 240. Plus 360, that's 600, so that's a multiplier of 7. So we've got multi-shot, we've got the status, then we have got the let's see, the elemental mods here. So we've got 0.6, 60% gold, we've got 0.6 for 60% electric, we've got 0.6 for 60% toxin, we've got 0.9 for 90% toxin, and we got 1.65 for the electricity. I multiply this all in so far, just treating this as 3 status, no status primer, and we're not even taking into account other multipliers yet. This is still 123 times higher damage. 123 times higher damage as a result of this. Damage and multi-shots combined. The fire rate goes even higher as a result of this modding. The status is really high across the board, which is just amping it up even further. You can see why it does so much. And so yeah, that's tough to deal with. That's really tough to deal with. How does multi-shot affect the damage? It's a direct multiplier. Yeah. It's a direct multiplier on King of Fire, because the way to look at it, multi-shot here is 8.4. That means that 40% of the time we deal 9 multi-shots, and 60% of the time we deal 8 multi-shots. So for mathematical purposes, you can just direct multiply. You'll find that this value here summed up, multiplied by your multi-shot, is this value. I'm not going to do that right now to verify that for you, but you can do it yourself. You'll see that that's how it adds up. If you take a much simpler to look at weapon, perhaps. Here you can see multi-shot 2.7. These lot here add up to a little over a third of that. They're going to add up to a little under 40%, a little over a third of that total there. So the total you see is included in multi-shot because you can just multiply it. On average, that is your output before crits. And then crits you can multiply in an average way as well. I explain that more in my damage calculation guide. So going back to the original point. Warframe development has its work cut out for it there because of such a huge range of damage outputs by players, and they designed that. Or it has been designed into the game. We've got this huge range. And that's just our weapon tools. We have 50 Warframes with at least 4 abilities a pop, giving us over 200 abilities they have to take into account. Plus augments, plus helmet. It's a lot. But I'm reminded of a very important lesson I was taught when DMing Dungeons & Dragons. And when you're DMing in Dungeons & Dragons, you are at that time, at a very small scale, granted, very small, but to an extent, you are playing a role of a game designer. You are. Part of that is in designing encounters that your players will encounter, literally, that's why it's called encounters, designing these situations, these scenarios, in a fair and fun way. Using the tools made available, much like the devs of Warframe today are using the tools made available to them from the devs of yesterday. And one of the core aspects of designing any kind of encounter is to think very carefully, are you shutting down what player choices exist? Are you allowing players to make choices, or are you railroading them? Give you an example. If someone buffs up their perception, they can buff it right the way sky high in Dungeons & Dragons, to the point that they can basically detect pretty much everything. And you'll see so many new DMs, they go, oh no, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? They're spotting everything. I need to make it where they can no longer spot everything. You go, no. No, that is the wrong response. If someone does everything in their power to spot everything, you give them the thumbs up, you say, congratulations, you spot everything. Now how do you deal with all the other stuff? If you get someone like Rhino, who can tank everything, the question should be, okay, so how do you deal with the stuff which can outpace you because you're not fast? If you got someone who's fast, like Volt, you say, okay, and how do you deal with the stuff that needs a lot of damage? That is how you scope it through. You give different challenges so that there is no one answer, but at the same time, you don't just block answers which are otherwise legitimate answers. And this is where I find things like armor strip just not working a concern. That is where I genuinely consider it a bit of an issue. It's alright to say, well, some abilities aren't going to work if you have certain classifications, but it's every single armor strip ability doesn't work. Like, okay, so we're just supposed to deal damage? Like, yeah, but the damage is attenuated. Like, okay, so it's supposed to last a fixed amount of time because the damage is attenuated to stop us killing it too quickly. And we can't use abilities to help us on that. And we're not allowed to risk even dying. You start to see some rails. So when they say in the dev stream, we couldn't spend the time to make it these full mechanical fights, we couldn't make 3 full mechanical fights, we didn't have the time. I go, okay, well, who planned out having 3 fights then? Who decided to do that? Rather than spend the time on a mechanical fight. If they didn't have the time for it, they didn't have the time for it. If they couldn't make it, they couldn't make it. But my sympathy only goes so far. My sympathy reaches a point where it says, well, hang on, you're telling me you shipped a product, or you're saying, oh yeah, we couldn't make it good enough to meet the game that it's going into. You believe they said slightly different? I am paraphrasing, Elliot. I am paraphrasing, but I am paraphrasing as I am reading into it. I mean, if you want to quote them on something that you say is counter to what I am understanding from it, then I'm happy to hear otherwise. I know that I am speaking from a platform here and reaching a lot of people with that at once, so I would like to make sure if I am saying something wrong, someone has something to say about that. But I'd like to know what that is, because they did explicitly say they didn't have the time to make something as mechanically involved as something like the Eidolons, or the Ropoliolist, or the Orb fights. They also claim that people aren't happy with the challenges in the Orb fights because they feel that it takes away from their DPS, and I don't think that's true, so I don't know where that came from. They didn't have time to make it a multi-phase fight. Well, they did, but yeah. They know pure mechanics-based bosses aren't popular with everyone. Well, not pure mechanics-based, but are there bosses in Warframe which are pure mechanics-based? We have the Eidolons. They're not pure mechanics based. The higher you take your damage, the faster you can kill them. There is a limit, because there are certain animations, people have reached that limit. That's part of the fact of how stupidly high we can take our DPS. But it's not pure mechanics. Ropoliolist, no. That's not pure mechanics. There are mechanical stages to it where your gear is not DPS focused, but that's, like I say, in designing an encounter, you want to have multiple things going on. In the Ropoliolist fight, there's a great segment where you have to go over to the, whatever they call them, the pylons, the charging up tower things, and get the Ropoliolist to shoot them. You need to get across there Well, you can run across, or you could fly across, or you can portal across. It has multiple means of doing so. Glassmaker is pure mechanic? Honestly, I don't remember the Glassmaker. I know that it exists. I can see it, a snapshot of it in my brain, but I played it once and then I never touched it again. So you're probably right there, Blue Dawn. But then, who did like the Glassmaker process entirely with a slow pixel hunt? I have my gripes with that too. Orb Mother is the closest to a pure mechanics fight. When you saw Orb Mother, the Prophet Taker Orb, that one has mechanics, but you are dealing DPS to counter the orb for most of the time. Your DPS is measured against it. If you don't have enough damage, you are going to struggle. You need to also have the right damage, and you need other counters as well to deal with knockback, to deal with distributed pylons with shields around them to crack through. You need to deal with that, by the way, if you could stack punch through to a certain level to get through those shields rather than just infinite or zero. That could be interesting as a build variant, but that's by the by. But you've got that to deal with, you've got the additional units spawning around you to deal with, so you've got the tank as well. There's a lot going on to be considered at once there, and that's a good fight. It annoys me at times, granted. It is a very high level fight, but the overall design is good. The telegraphing, it's okay. The telegraphing is better than it is on the Eidolon fights. The Eidolon fights are pretty much my only gripe with the Eidolon fights. Is the telegraphing, because the stages are just poorly explained. You have to use out-of-game tools pretty much to understand that. And the vulnerable spawns, because they're so damn crucial to the fight. Aside from those two, the Eidolon fight's actually in a very great spot. I'm just not a huge fan of them. Yeah, Warframe struggles with the fact that we can scale our damage quite so highly, and we have abilities which are quite so strong. You look at how Limbo had to be nerfed against the Sentience. But at the end of the day, if we put it in its most blunt form, and this is exceedingly blunt, it's almost unfair it's that blunt, I don't know how better to put it. At the end of the day, those issues are not our issues as players. Those issues were not ones we created. We did not create the level scaling. The level scaling which has been revamped since I started playing this game. We did not create the level to which health and armor and shields go. We did not create the values for the mods. We did not create the values applied to the Kuva Brahma, the Tsar, the Agrit, and so on. We simply use those values to try and achieve what we can achieve. Yeah, that's going to be difficult to work with. I don't envy their position. But one of the very few insights we get into why they've made what they've made, to hear we couldn't do something better because we simply didn't have enough time when they put out 3 Archons and Carl's Garrison at the same time. It's a little bit sour of an answer. It's a little bit sour. That's how I see it. Anyway, I've rambled quite a bit there, and we haven't gone and get any bile. That was what today's stream was meant to be focused on, so let's do that, shall we, chat? Let's focus on some bile, rather than what I've just said.
Is responsible for biological functions.
So, with bile, where can we get it? What can we get it? Let's list this up. I'm gonna grab a notepad, honestly. I'm gonna grab a notepad just on my side here. So, we have got anti-serum, which we can get from the infested salvage. Salvage, and we need 900 at a time. We can get it from cryotic. So cryotic, which is of course from excavation, and we need 3,000 at a time. It's not cheap. That is not cheap. We could use diluted thermia, which is only from an event, so diluted thermia, event, 5 at a time. Probably not against source, but I'm writing it down. We've got Isos, Now that seemed to be a relatively cheap one. Either that or I'm just not using ISOS where I should. So ISOS, that is a railjack resource. I'll need to double check exactly which one. That's only 200 a time. Should be great. Thank you for that confirmed cancel dialogue after feeding. Yeah. Yeah, that does come in handy. I want to feed the karate by accident. Oh no, could you imagine? You sneeze, accidentally double click that. There goes 6,000 cryotic for 45% bile. You'd be crying. Alright, Javlocks. So it's Javlock capacitors. I'm just going to put Javlock down for now. That was only on Ceres, and that is done in groups of 7. We got Morphix. That is just rare on many planets. I'll put down Mercury, Mars, Phobos, Europa, and Pluto. You know, I love the fact that I said multiple planets, and actually only 2 of those are planets. Go figure. And that is 40 at a time. Let's see then. We've got nav coordinates. Nav coordinates are just basically everywhere, aren't they? They were added to bile because they don't have a purpose anymore. So everywhere, 65. You just kind of accrue these. At what rate you accrue them is interesting. We need to look into that, but we just kind of get them. Or you could Javlocks on 7 and 2 for some reason. I'll check the wiki in a sec. Unless you can double check the wiki for me, I'll check the wiki in a sec. Omega Isotopes. That is a event item, so we're probably not going to worry about that, but it's 30 a time. We got the Argon Ciphers, which I'm sure most people upon seeing them in the list there go, what? But yeah, those are from derelict vaults. They have no use other than bile. I think bile is mostly the useless items, but there we go. Need 5 a time for those. Of course, they're used for little. Well, I think they actually don't have any broad use these days. They used to be used for making the keys for the Argon Derelict. The Argon Derelict is now Deimos, which you don't need keys for, so nav coordinates lost their use. They were then turned into something you could sell for credits, and then added to bile, as I went, yeah. Somatic fibers. These are from demos on Lua, and that's 10 a time, which is going to be a terrible choice. Honestly terrible. Save those for making Lua lenses instead. But I'm noting it down. Thermal sludge. If I recall correctly, that can be a little bit of a pain to get. I mean, I've only got 339. That is Orb Valis, and it's 50 a time. Tycor plate. I swear I always seem to have just under 400k of this every time I look at it. Maybe it's because I don't do enough railjack, which is where we get that from. And that is 5,000 a time. That is in fact the highest of any item on this list so far. Void Gel Orb. Obviously that's a Zaraman. That's 10 a time. And I'm missing off here Argon Crystals. Are there any others I'm missing off this list? Because it would be hubris to believe that I have absolutely every resource straight up. It's possible, but it would be hubris to believe it straight away. So let's see, what am I missing off this list? Antidurium, Argon, Cryotic Diluted, Isos, Javlot, Morphic Nav, Omega, Oricon, Somatic Thermal, Tycor, Voyager. Oh no, it is just the Argons. Never mind then. Argon Crystals, and the wiki says they come at 3 at a time, and obviously those are from the Void, plus other places. Plus for other places. Okay. Okie dokie. Right, I missed a couple messages whilst writing that there. Do ISOs not also drop from some containers, perhaps also Xmas? Yes, they do. You're very right there. They drop in exceedingly small quantities elsewhere, but let me just doubly check on that. So, missions, Neptune Extra, Pluto Extra, and Venus Extra all give 5 on Rotation A. Screw that. Certain enemies all over the place can drop it. Containers can drop it, but to what values, it's not quite clear. Uncommon resource for handling Corpus Railjack missions, using upgrading Railjack, building Void Rig, building the Basmu, but yep, where? Where otherwise are they obtainable? Come on. Oh. That wiki page is terrible. Not gonna lie, that wiki page is absolutely terrible. That has no info. That's a shame. Fermatorineo has gone to the wiki for the Javlocks. They only spawn specific tile set. It's present overwhelmingly on Ceres, but there are 2 nodes on Sedna too. Ah, good man. Or woman or whoever. Good Tenno. Let's go with that. Thank you. Right then, so, you know, I should probably switch this screen over so you can see my notepad. There we are. That's what I'm working with at the moment. That is what I'm working with at the moment. So, we said Ceres or Sedna too. Probably Ceres is going to be the way on that one, but Sedna could be it too. Hello, Dang Fortress. Right then, now Void Crystals, Argon Crystals we know are actually relatively easy to get, but you need to keep farming them. So that is an active farm. So I'm going to separate that from the rest. The rest of these you can just farm up. Yeah. Asking, why am I gathering helmet materials if I'm rank 15? I assume you have every frame subsumed. I do have every frame except for Steinek subsumed. Need to sort him still. The thing is, though, is that you don't just use helmet to put the frames in. You use helmet to get abilities out of him. That costs resources. And bile is the big one, because you need bile to take off Archon shards. Every Archon shard you remove, to be able to use it again for something else or someone else, costs you 50% bile. That's a lot. That is a lot of bile. Certainly in a system which does not encourage experimentation, something we've said from day one of this whole system. So, yeah. That's why we're looking at this, because all of these are things which give us bile, which allows us to actually continue to mess with the Archon shards. The more of these we can get, and faster, the better. Alright, I'm going to take the event items and move them down, because event items we can just ignore. Mega isotopes and diluted thermia. I'm going to put the isotopes on there. We can ignore those, because we're not going to be doing them. They're just not a reasonable thing for it. So that leaves us with the rest of these here. I think the starting point is staring me in the face. It's one mission, the only place to get these from. Simple thing we can find out. What's the point of finding out how to get bile again? It's not how to get bile, it's how much we can get bile. And this is the only way to remove Archon Shards, Moon. It's not the main way, it's the only way. So if you want to be experimenting with Archon Shards, if you want to move them from one place to another, you have to have bile. There's no other way around it. So, let's have a look then. Anti-serum, infested salvage, let's go do... Solid, let's take it to Rotation C. As much as I hate the mission, let's go to Rotation C, see how much we get in a Rotation C over there. And if you want to join me on that, send me a message in game, I'll bring you into the squad. Don't blame me if you don't want to join in, because it is that mission. But yeah, let's go do that. Let's go see what happens. Obviously, if you have a resource booster of any kind, let me know, because that will affect the results. Imagine having to pay Ender to remove mods from a frame. At the same time, we can use mods on every frame at the moment. Whereas, imagine if we couldn't. That would kind of add it further. Separate Rage coming in. It did used to be a thing where you couldn't use a mod on your primary and on your sentinel weapon at the same time. That was a thing. Hello, I'm going to assume that hello is a I would like to join. There you go. Isn't bile also Argon Crystals? Yes. Yes, it is. It's on the list. The thing with Argon Crystals is that you can't just have a bank of it, you need to actively farm it every single time. And because you need to actively farm it every single time, well, you can't just bank up Argon Crystals. It defeats the whole point of what resource can we just farm fast enough. With the Fang has decided to drop out. Understandable, man. You have a good one. So, we're going over to Eris. We are not going on the steel path. That would be stupid. We are farming off the steel path. Actually... resource. It's a resource. Never mind. Yes, steel path is correct here. Isn't it? Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. In which case I want something with a little bit of blappage to it. And when I say a little bit of blappage, you know exactly what weapon I'm referring to. There we go. That's a lot of Roombas. Yeah, I got a few of them going around, haven't I? It's kind of a much. Kind of a bit. Most veterans are mostly drowning resources that aren't Argon. Kind of, Gorilla, but there is a limit to it all. We want to see where those limits actually lie. Because if we can farm bile resources so quickly that even the most diminished amount it doesn't matter, then hey, we got infinite bile. If not, what's the limit we can take it to? How much bile can we generate? Is the question. The answer, well, that's going to be found through testing. Alright, no further message from Witherfangs. I'm going to guess they've just dropped out entirely. So, is it under Ostrus? Infested Salvage, there it is. Let's do this. Might be the cleanest orbiter with all them Roombas. I mean, you'd think so, but I swear a couple of them just keep on tracking in more dirt, so they've got work to do, you know? Break a window to be the window maker. I swear that's what those drones are doing. Which Roomba coloration do you have most of? The dark blue one. I have 2 more of those than of the others. I think that one's called the Snob. What do I guess it's called? Alright, let's do this. So we're going to be doing this for 4 rounds. That is rotation C. And the reason for doing 4 rounds for rotation C is because I chose that number. But also more to the point is that ensures we've got a series of missions down. We'll also be getting nav cores. I just noticed I picked up one there. So we can measure that source of bile in the process. And we'll be able to compare that to other missions. This is multiple sets of data at once, which is always nice to do. More is often better than less. I don't know why C hasn't been filled. We'll just grab some of these and I'll head over to C. Ah, there we are. Alright, cool. So yeah, we should just be able to keep this running now. I think it'll take us about 12 minutes to do rotation C.
I'm still working on this
If I remember this mission correctly, and I probably do. Doing some extra resources from around the area. C has gone down, C is back up, there we go, lovely. You still have no idea how to play this mission, so it's pretty simple. You kill enemies, they drop these things. These are anti-serum. You pick up the anti-serum, and you put them into the anti-serum vaporizers. 2 of them is enough to then protect the console here. Each one of these is a console within a range of 2. 3 gives you extra time or extra buffer zone. So you just keep on filling them up because periodically they'll run through one vaporizer onto the next one. You do that with all 3 of them to make the mission go as quickly as possible. In about 3 minutes, the decryption will be complete, and that's a round. That's it. That's all there is. It is a mission you cannot speed up otherwise. It is effectively a survival by other terms. That's all there is to it. You think the Envoy remained good after nerf? It did, yes, because the Envoy picks up 4 ammo at a time, while still functioning very much like the parameters are. Oh, did I leave this one to drop? My bad.
I have the manifest. Wipe out the remaining infested.
Oh, your lich took your riven. Well, that's a dead lich, isn't it? That is a dead lich right there.
This is what was in the manifest. There's more.
Alright, yep. See, we're just shy of 3 minutes. In fact, it'll be 3 minutes before we get the next round properly going.
Let's reconstruct the next manifest.
Yeah. So it takes about 3 minutes to do a round. And there's just no speeding that up, it's just how long it takes. Mix of survival and interception. Camp the spot. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It doesn't have the KPM of survival though. Survival, you have to keep up something like a 100 KPM on Steel Path in order for it to maintain your life support through drops. That's against Iridia. Here against the Infested, you just need enough to get the occasional injector per each of these, which is honestly really doable. Even solo, it is really doable. And the anti-serum injector fragments, by the way, that we're picking up, is not these things. you might notice as we go around a translucent green orb on the ground. I'll see if I can find one. I'll see if one drops and I can point it out for you. I don't think they're that common, which is why this mission is... There we go, those things. That's the stuff we're looking for. That is what's getting turned into bile. And these pickups here just got me 64 of it. So I'm saying, if I recall, there's some weird interaction the node had with squad size. I'm not aware of any. I've done this solo and I've done this in a group, and it's always been about 12 minutes to rotation C. So I'm not aware of any overall timer change. There might be that this drains slower solo. I'm not familiar with any such thing. I just know you just keep it topped up. Oh, where did he teleport to? Right behind me.
Finished. You must clear the area infested before
And he's dead. Envoy still strong. Envoy definitely still strong.
Success.
There we are.
Do you want to attempt
That's
to
the only way you can
reconstruct
speed up the
another
mission, is just killing the enemies quicker at the end.
Here we go again.
No idea, Cosmo. No idea if your Stynaxes change colours, sorry.
Heavy infestation ahead.
These have no other use. They have one other use, and that is to craft some armor regenerative thing, I think it is, which only works in this mission. And you don't need it because you can regenerate your armor here. Like so. So, yeah, they are functionally useless. You don't need them for anything of any consequence whatsoever. If you accidentally deleted them all from your inventory, the only thing you'll be missing out on is free bile. Did not realise this was a booster. Yes, we've got the drop chance booster. I should ask anyone... Oops. Anyone got a drop chance booster? I'm just checking so I know for certain. The only boost we need to worry about, but it's potential. No one's Necros. No one is Necros. No one is any kind of loot frames. That's good. That's not affecting anything. Nope, nope. Excellent. So this is giving us a base rate calculation. That's fine. You could potentially get more from a loot frame, I'm going to say. But that would need separate testing. I don't want to do this mission twice on stream. It's so boring. So he's down. The other thing is, if you let them go down, it slows down the mission. There we are, let's put another into that, thank you. It slows down the mission. And also risks damage to the vaporizer, but I've never had to worry about the damage. Just keep topping it up. Base rate's still bad. Yeah, base rate's still bad calculation. I'm aware of that, but yeah. That is giving us double over the standard form. Oops. That's it. Alright, round 3 finishing up. And if anyone's curious as to why anyone would do this mission, this is the way you get Nidus.
I have the manifest. I have the remaining infested.
Yeah, if there's any modifiers in play, I'd need to know about those modifiers. But just the existence of the Seal Path 1 alone, that's easy to remove from the equation.
This is what was in the manifest.
Easy to account for, we just divide by 2.
Do you want to keep fighting?
It's also a very good arbitration. I suppose it'd be a very efficient arbitration. I don't say I'd ever enjoy it.
We're going to reconstruct another manifest.
Do I have a good build for the Helmet Charger? My poor doggo is down too much for my liking. Want to keep him around longer? Yeah, no, the Helmet Charger sucks. Sorry to let you know that. He sucks. If you want to keep them alive longer, Link Health and Link Armor are pretty much your go-tos, but that only works if you have a high health, high armor frame. If you don't have those, well, you're not able to link up any hit points for them to care about. Link Armor will make it where each point of healing you provide will just be more powerful. You can provide healing in a few different ways. Is it Pack Leader, I want to say? But that's about as far as you can take it, really. Ultimately, the Helmet Charger now sucks. Anything else worthwhile even drop for this mission? No. Oh, when did I lose that health? Oh, damn. Okay, they do a little bit of melee damage. I didn't notice. That was biting my ass. Oh, and that heal missed. Do I have my glaive? Ah, my glaive is not set to lifesteal. Whoop. I nearly died as Lavos for the second time in a week. That would have been bad. It's not even like my armor's been drained. That was weird. Ian Jordan's verdict flashbacks? Yeah. Alright, I think... is this round 3 or 4? I've lost track. I've genuinely lost track if this is round 3 or 4. Everybody's saying just took damage through Iron Skin? God knows. This has got to be round 4. We're at 10 minutes, which is fast. Huh. Well, there we are. Isn't that convenient? We've actually managed to do this in 10 minutes. That's actually really impressive.
Success. Do you want to attempt to reconstruct another manifest?
The hell hit me? Yeah, that's round 4. Hey, Nidus piece. What do you know? For anyone who needed a Nidus piece in the squad. Not me.
Good dance, all.
10 minutes, 502. Let me just put this into the stuff here. So we got 502 in... Yeah, we'll just say 10 minutes. 502 in 10 min. And there we also got 6 nav coordinates. They only drop from containers, I think it says. Yeah, storage containers. So we got all of them at the start. 6 in 10 min. That might be more of a crate clearing exercise, which might also tie in with Argon Crystal farming. But we got info. That's important. We got info. None of the rest of this is bile stuff. Carbides. Yeah, carbides are one of the drops that you can get. Why does it say location Ceres, but we got it here? That's weird. But yeah, you get certain materials from Xmas units, certain railjet material. Someone mentioned about Isos. I don't think Isos is one of them, but yeah, carbides, and there's another thingamajiggy you get from railjet. Lies there. I forgot what it is. You crashed once we were finished? Oh, that is rough. That is rough. I hope you got to keep the reward. Let me see, what was the other railjet stuff? It's carbides. What's the other one that drops? From non-railjet locations? I think it was Isos. Maybe it was like...
Otis cannot remember.
Was it titanium?
There does seem to be a relationship between your warframes and the
I don't know.
station.
Cubic diodes. Yes, of course. I'm now about to say. Yep, there we are. That is it. Thank you. Reality book, appreciate it. So yeah, that's what we're getting from the Xmas units. Why we're getting carbides from infested Xmas, I don't know. I guess they just coded similarly. What's this message we're missing here? Oh, there's someone messaging here. Am I able to join if you haven't got to that planet in Steel Path? Good question. Probably yes. I'm going to invite you in anyway for whatever we're doing next. I'm assuming you're down for whatever's next. Alright, let's see what is next. So that is the only way we're going to get infested any anti-serve. It's literally the only way, which gives us, if we multiply that into an hour, 502 times 6, 3,000 an hour, so allowing for rounding errors and whatnot and slower stuff in solos, you could say roughly 3 feeds per hour. Roughly 3 feeds per hour we're getting there. Let's join again if possible? Sure, go ahead. Let's clean up these tabs as well. So, next up then, do we do an excavation? I think we do an excavation, don't we? Yeah, we do an excavation. Alright, let's do an excavation. Probably not worth it, but we want to get the information. Now, excavation, the resource drop that you get there is a mission drop. Sorry, it's a guaranteed drop, so the drop chance of Steel Path won't affect it. Therefore, there is no point in going onto Steel Path for it, right? Right? Right. Yeah. From a pure farming perspective, there's no reason to do so. So.
It was 6 months Wednesday, but here we are.
Here we are indeed, Tilly. I remember that conversation. You needed to find the button, you found the button, and now you get to enjoy it twice in a very short period of time. I'd see that as an absolute win. Tilly, thank you very much for continuing your support. On to 7 months now. I really do appreciate that. Cheers. It's 100 every 1.5 minutes. Kinda Q factors, because I've just remembered we got another option that can help us. Fuck. So this was 256. That is 1.5. Never mind, chat. Never mind. I forgot I had my own booster. When did I get that? Well, I have it. Yeah. Is bile the open world thingies? No. Bile is the helmet resource. One of the helmet resources. It's the only one that can be used to take Argon shards off your Warframe. Do fish resource boosters apply to extractors? Yes, they do, which is what I was angling towards there when I noticed that icon popped up. So, do we... Of course we don't. Why would we have one? Why? Okay. That does slow things down. Do we have a Steel Path one? Of course we don't. Ha! Fun! Yeah, it must be a login booster. I must have got it yesterday. I didn't get it today, that's for certain. Great, so we have a capture, sabotage, rescue, defense, exterminate, crossfire, exterminate, Cooper survival, exterminate, but we don't have a single excavation. Okay. I mean, normally I'm happy to not see an excavation up there, but that does kind of slightly mess up testing a bit, because we want to get empirical actual data rather than calculated data. Actual data is always better in this case, because it's, you know, it's real. So we'll just have to run without that. Let's go to, not the Archon Hunt, it is Excavation right there. Bam. Level 1 to 6, guys. We are really pushing the boat out here. Holy shit. This might be one of the most difficult missions in the entire game. Level 1 to 6, like... Yikes. I might actually have to stop firing so my Sentinel can see something. Or vice versa, my Sentinel's going to kill stuff before I can. But it's a farm for cryotic. Cryotic farms do not get higher level, higher for high levels. The only thing that buffs it is resource boosters. Oh, hello, there's a power set. I want that. And resource boosters come from... Well, just boosters, really. Cavats, but you can use them anywhere. Fishers, but they can be anywhere if they spawn. So, really, you can just... whenever them. Enemy density on Earth excavation hurts sometimes, though. True, it can do that. We are in a group of 4, which should make this as effective as possible. What we're going to do here is we're going to take this to 15 excavators. Yeah, we'll do 15 digs, assuming we don't lose any, and see how that feels. I mean, these power cells are already kind of dropping. We haven't got anything special, have we? Nope, doesn't seem to be anything special. Just a recheck. Actually, no, the boosters don't matter here. Don't even need to check on that. Boosters of any type do not matter outside of the one I already have. No one can be bringing one that will affect me here. Use Umbra, fair enough. That does work. I'm bringing a Tenet Envoy to level 1 mission. I mean, there's no rule against it. Let's head over here. Power that up. That is now fully powered, and I'm holding on to my next one ready. There we go. I think I've still got my Prime Epitaph equipped. Or did I switch this over to the damage form? I think that might be the... I don't know which one that is. They'll damage. You haven't played much since the Crystals update? Oh, fair enough, Tony. Fair enough. What is this glowy thing? That Sundering Weave? Huh. Seemed more important than that.
Extraction is now available.
It seemed more important. We'll put out a nice thing, a sufficiently high power level wisp. Will overheal the damage the ads can do all the way to 10 digs in. That's good. Yeah, a high level wisp could indeed just keep them alive. That's a thing. There we go. New location spotted. Off we chop. I could double dip. I'm gonna double dip. On this low level of emission, I can safely double dip. By that I mean I'm bringing a power cell with my operator and with my frame, which is better than Sevagoth here, who brought none, apparently. That's fine. We've got it fully powered up, and B is taking damage because everyone came this way. Shit! Someone stay at C. I will save B from dying. You brought the first? You did not bring the first. It has 20% when it lands. I didn't see it above 20%. Didn't look like you used one. Alright, B's fine. Because it finished. We're okay, actually. Whee. Maybe it got eaten by another. You might have flown past one that had less than max shields and then it got eaten. Okay, so that'll be it then. You have to be careful about that. Also, there is another one that could be popped and hasn't been popped. Let's go pop it. Oh, that was unfortunate. Just get stuck right there. There we are. Charge this one. Get that ticking. Oh, that was convenient. He spawned right there. Okay. Okay. You're putting protective halos on all of them. Don't worry too much about them dying. That's good. That's good. If you've got Safeguard and Leisure going crazy, that is good for us. I'll just quickly take that. Thank you. Don't mind me. Power Cell. Never mind. He got it first. And we head back this way. That should bring it in. There we go. Let's power it. There we go. Let's go get some more cells. Trying to do this as quickly and effectively as possible. At least trying. Thanks so much. Got myself a Fenwar, got Nidus Prime, Hara Prime along the way, along with Equinox. Ooh, that is a lot of spicy stuff there. You enjoy those. Equinox is my third most used frame of all time, so she's a good one. She is a good one. Where is that? Ah, there it is. Yoink! Got the power cell. Never realised Warning Halo works on them. Yeah, that's an option. You can heal them in various ways, so that's an option as well. F got popped. I didn't see where F got popped. Oh, it's here. That was convenient. There is a power cell hiding over here. Let's go power up F some more. God, this mission is so low level, they're dying to my Vile Rush before it explodes. That's just sad. Can Oberon heal them? I believe so, yes. What's that? Oh, it fainted me, wait. Showing the waypoint towards it. F is full, E is full. Where is the next spawn? Hasn't been decided yet. It has not. We'll wait. A 2,000 credit cache. I can't complain. I'm on the lowest level mission. Cannot complain at this level. That would be ridiculous of me. Is someone missing their Equinox? I've been stood there for a while. He died before I could hit him. No recharge. Saisons. Fair enough. You just see a Warframe stood there for a while. It's like, guess this is a really low level mission. We don't even need a weapon of war for it. F is going to be just fine. It hasn't even run out of shield, which is ridiculously funny. Like, how are these guys so low level? How did the Grenadier take over anything with recruits this week? But sure, why not? Credit caches are always insulting regardless of level. I mean, for the lowest of low-level players, they matter. I remember selling mods for credits to be able to trade. Once upon a time, we were low enough level that actually did kind of matter. It's still low, but it was something to the low levels. It's just, it never scales up. The credit caches available in high-level missions are frankly a joke. But in an ultra newbie mission like this one, it's perfectly legitimate. There we are, that's fully filled. Lovely jubbly. You spend a lot of time on Earth, Dark Sector Defense for credits. I mean, if you spend a lot of time somewhere for credits, obviously that's going to affect your general assessment of it. I would say that most new players don't want to just hardcore farm one mission, they want to start exploring new stuff. Yeah. Railjet credit rewards aren't too bad. The caches tend to be, yes. In fact, does Railjet have credit caches? Probably does. But yeah, Railjet credits from the actual mission itself tend to be actually pretty nice. Oh, I'm only holding one, that's why. But that is one place where credits are actually appropriate for the mission. Or at least more appropriate for the mission. Pretty much the entire star chart. The credit output that isn't specifically made for credits sucks. Alright, that is fully powered up as well. We're on 7 digs completed. We got 2 more going, so that'd be nice. We need 6 more to spawn for our full 15, just for the vibe on how quickly we actually do this, not just the theoretical maximum. We'll see how much cryotic that comes out to, and obviously any boosts on top of that would apply, but it's saying plus 100 cryotic. Am I getting plus 100 or 200? I'm definitely getting 200. Good, good, good. Nothing has been stealth nerfed there. Don't think you have much use for credits until you have access to index carries. I mean, you do have a use for credits. That's upgrading mods. Credits and endo. I was short of credits more than I was short of endo in the earliest days. Seriously. You also need credits for building stuff, for buying blueprints from the market. You need credits for trading with players, just generally. I mean, it starts to add up. It really does start to add up. I forget how much it is, but the blueprints you can get from your dojo, for example, for Fieldron, Detonite, and Mutagen Masses, they aren't cheap. Oh, either one is available, we need to be there. Don't understand why Warframe has taxes, so that credits are actually used. Create a resource to have you spend the resource. That's literally the entire point of resources. Help stopping newer players from just getting everything straight away from someone. They have to actually go get some credits. They have to do something. Barrow needs credits too? True, yes. Not quite the earliest of game is Barrow, but still a thing. Still absolutely a thing. Barrow does ask for quite a few credits. I mean, counting the stuff that you upgrade to sell to others, I wouldn't count that the same in terms of what a player needs. That's just a choice of a way to generate platinum through trading. That's not a credit demand. That's a credit option at that point. It's slightly different. Slightly different. Hello, Airsoft. How you doing? How are you doing, my dude? You prefer doing invasions to those? Usually enough? I mean, it depends on your measure of enough, you know? If there's not an invasion for a mutagen mass going around, that's exactly 0 mutagen mass you're making. Whereas if you build the blueprint, you're now making 1. That is an infinite % increase, you know? There is a limit to how much the invasions are going to pay out, because they don't always exist. And theoretically, if you had platinum to spare as well, then you could rush the blueprints for the resources and get as many as you wanted in a single day. You can't do that with invasions. So again, credits do matter there. Credits definitely do matter there. Yeah, tell you, if you already know, what was that word? If you already know how to play the game when you then start afresh, you're obviously going to be much more effective at farming resources. You're going to understand the gameplay loop better. You are going to mod your gear more effectively, which will make it where you are more adept at actually completing the missions to get said rewards. You will just be better. That's just a thing. And so that will affect your resource economy too. Wolvens, cheers. Alright, I think there is one that either is opened or... Was I just holding onto a power cell for this? No, that's... I don't know. Mine a little bit skipped there. Thinking about too many things outside the game. Alright, we're on 12 digs. We got 2 more completing around us as we speak. I'll just grab the time as to when we hit 15 and just call it at that, because this is a mission you could farm indefinitely with a super squad. There's no limit there. We'll take it to 15 completed ones. I'll take those a time, and that'll be 1500 base cryotic. Any kind of boost that could apply, entirely secondary. Entirely secondary. Snake Raider, cheers. I mean, I should always be holding onto a power cell. The fact that holding a power cell locks you out of your primary is a bit... It's just part of the design, I guess. It's one of those, it doesn't take away a choice, it requires you to make a choice, because you can still use your primary. It just means you're no longer holding onto the cell at all times. That's a fair challenge to your options. That's fine, in terms of game design. Let's go back to the earlier conversation with regards to the Archons, and removing options versus just increasing or adding challenges. This adds a challenge, it doesn't remove an option. Alright, we'll just let C finish and then we can extract. And if we're being highly optimal about this, we just kind of end up near extraction. So that when the timer hits 0, we can just instantly extract, and that is actually the most optimal way of doing 15 runs, I suppose. We will just stand close and dance for a bit. Hello Sangler, how you doing? How are we looking time-wise? So, 10 more seconds on that. It's about 16.5 minutes. About 16.5. Ta-da! Yeah, I got 3,000 there. Obviously that's with the resource booster, so it's actually 1,500. We're not testing on a... Oh, there's points. We're not testing on a... What do you call it? Fisher? So fishers could theoretically take that higher, but this is for no fishers available, just the basic you can get. You had 105 stolen by a lich? Rude. So we're saying a base 1500 in 16 minutes. So that comes out to like 16.5 minutes really, isn't it? So we just divide that in. I mean, I don't need to divide that in, do I? That is very roughly 2 feeds per hour. It's a little bit low. I mean, I'm going to put below less than 2 feeds per hour from Cryotic. And already we can see that's actually just better than doing the infested salvage farm, technically speaking. Granted, that one that we're on, because the steel path had an effect on it, we're doing it on the steel path. That could also, I should put this as steel path. That can also generate steel essence. The way we were doing this wasn't, but you can do that on steel path anyway. It just doesn't give you more Cryotic. What's this for? For bile. Just under 100 per minute? Does seem to be, yeah. So this is for bile.
Disgusting, is it not, operator? Ortis would enjoy
Purging this.
cleaning this room, but
so it's for this resource here. This is why we're doing this. We're looking at the ways to get bile, what feeds in, how quickly, what are the options, yada yada. Because I don't know if there is a comprehensive guide on this, and that question has come across my mind. I'm sure a lot of people are asking now, well, what's the best ways of getting this stuff? Certainly those people who are experimenting more with the Argon shards. If there was a way of easily getting these resources, to the point that experimenting was cheap, then I'm sure that'll make a lot of people's day. Knowing how to optimize that. That's to say 60 minute 35, how are you so close? If you're wondering how I was so close, I opened up the mission screen to see what the time was at. I'm not magic, I can't count time that perfectly. Sanguine asking, what is your solution to objective defending when using a frame with almost no crowd control and AoE nuking? So you're saying, how do you defend when you can't kill quickly and you can't stop the enemies? Fix one of those two issues. Yeah, fix one of those two issues. Ivara, for example, fix one of those two issues. If you're trying to use a stealth frame with no nuking capability, no nuking weapon, no nothing, then you're actively making it difficult for yourself, yeah. Get a different frame, get a different weapon. Or otherwise, find a way to increase your KPM. Spectres can help. Spectres are effectively an extension of a new frame. Thanks, Rahal. Appreciate it. You have to use Cora? If you're on Steel Path especially, then yeah, Cora is going to be really helpful to you there. If you're off the Steel Path, your KPM should be high enough with appropriate modding. Certainly because solo, you'll have far fewer enemies to deal with. Otherwise, yeah, if you've not got a way to heal the objective, not got a way to control the enemies, and not got a way to nuke the enemies, you're basically not bringing any of the tools needed to solve the problem. That's why it's difficult. You're taking a hammer to go and put a screw into a wall. It's gonna look like shit. You're doing it wrong. Actually, if you're skipping all of those options, if you're just using a stealth frame, you're not taking a hammer to put a screw into a wall, you're taking a hammer to paint a window. Of course it's going to shatter. Does Fire have sleep arrows for TC? Not a huge range on them. Not a huge duration either. They're more for stealth reasons than for mobile defense, like that. The way you could make Ivara work, the way you could make her work is to use... Please say I have it. I should have this augment. Yeah, is to use Concentrated Arrow. Basically turning your Artemis Bow into an AoE option. That'd be your solution. Or one of your many solutions. Yeah. You put Ensnare on her, still not enough. I mean, if Ensnare control is not enough, then that shows you're dealing with far too many enemies at once. Maybe your KPM needs to go higher. Yeah, your kills per minute. Oops. That's weird. Yeah, it's kind of stuff you need to look at there. Yes, I use the default background. Someone mentions it every time. Alright. So, skipping over Railjack for the moment, we got Javlocks next. Javlocks. Okay. Javlocks, we get them from the Prosecutors. Prosecutors are on Ciphers. If we get maximum enemy spawn rate and highest drop chance, Steel Path. If we do Steel Path Exterminate, I think that should be a good measure. So, Steel Path Exterminate, is this the appropriate setup for it? Yes, it is. Good, good, good. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go to Ciphers. Let's go to Steel Path. Let's do an Exterminate. We got a full squad of 4. And that one should be one. Yes, it is. Yep. Red Veil hiding it as usual. Let's go smash this mission apart and see how many Javlocks we get in what amount of time. Don't hold back, guys, my squad here. Don't hold back. We're blowing it up. Okay. I will consider Xmas Stronghold on a favourable node to be equivalent to an event because of how unlikely that'll be. To be quite honest. We're looking for something that you can actually farm a reasonable amount of. I don't feel like that would be something you can farm a reasonable amount. You're right, it would be good, but not in this instance. If you have Reverend, use this one to spread mind control. Not sure who you're saying that to, but you're right, that is a thing. His thralls spread more thralls. Yeah, something to consider. The thing is, I'm not considering event stuff. I don't want to be going, well, this is the way you could theoretically get the absolute max. Because, well, frankly, this topic is broad enough already. I want to be looking at the practical options players actually have access to. The if you see it, grab it stuff is worth a mention, maybe. But mostly I want to focus on what can people actually do when they need bile. And 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be next to Stronghold on Ciphers. Hello, Stray Salty. All is indeed well with myself. Hope all's well for you. Hope all is definitely okay with yourself. That goes to everyone, actually. If you find yourself in a situation where things are not okay, I hope that changes soon. So the kid's saying, I point out you can go and Steel Path Mod for half an hour and walk away 40 plus Argon Crystals. Problem is only really effective if you have Eidolon parts to feed the helmet. Yeah, that and the fact that Argon Crystals decay, so if you want to have Argon Crystals tomorrow, oh shit, where did they go? Half of them have vanished. And that is a problem for indefinite farming. That means you can only really rely on that if you play every day, or you can rely on that if you are happy to farm up yet more bile every time you need bile, which is not exactly an ideal answer in my opinion. Not an ideal answer. Hey, I got Javelin faster from whatever was marked there. Alright. I'm just doing that mission quickly, not really paying attention to trying to super optimize the loot from it, because if you have to do that, it's probably not worth it. And we got... This is not a worthwhile farm.
What you have learned.
There is no way that's going to be worthwhile. So 3 minutes, 1 Javelin capacitor. I mean, in terms of data points, that is exceedingly small. That we could have been unlucky on drops there. It could actually go up to 3 per minute. 3 per mission, so 1 per minute on average. It could be we got lucky. That is not a lot of information. Probably have to run that a few times. But so far, that was 1 in 3 min, which is not looking good. Let's try that again. In an ideal world, chat, I would have access to the information that says how many of these units spawn per mission, what the average mission completion time is throughout the player base, and what the drop rate are of Javelin capacitors from those units that spawn, so that I could just run that all together to give us an average per hour. I can't do that, which is why we have to keep running this mission. Hello, Space Cadet. How you doing?
Each enemy is more powerful than before. Only.
Alright, when I see the phrase, that's kind of your loss, generic, yada yada, I hope you guys are behaving with each other. I'm not reading every message right now. Also, fun fact, that Javelot capacitor was not buffed by my resource booster. Ooh. That's noteworthy. I got 1, not 2. Not affected by resource booster. And make sure you guys are being friendly. If you're coming up to a disagreement you can't get over in 100 characters, probably not a discussion. What? That's strange to me. So Javelot capacitor didn't get buffed by resource booster. What's going on with that? Is it something that shouldn't? Am I missing a bit? I feel like it should be counted as a resource, but maybe not. Do I think D have the data themselves, and if so, should they release that kind of data? They may have that data themselves. Well, they definitely have the drop rates. They should have the spawn rates, but that might be buried in the code. It might not be something in a human readable format. And they definitely have how long it takes players on average to complete the mission, including down to certain circumstances. Again, it might not be human readable, it might be that they need to sort the information, but they have access to that information all around now. Should they make it public is an interesting... What? It would be nice to have that information public, because we have a lot of drop data stuff public. However, I'll be honest, I don't know if that's a case of should or simply would be nice. I do know that there's a lot of things where if we didn't have the drop tables, I would be pissed. I don't know if that extends to resource drops. And again, Javelot capacitor, only 1, not 2. So it's definitely not boosted by the resource booster. That is curious. Might be a bug. Can you get Javlots from Railjack? I don't think you can, no. You think of an entirely different resource, dude. I mean, let's see what the wiki says. Javelot. Javelot capacitor. Let's see. Required for making the Javelot. They can be required only from prosecutors in a Grenier shipyard tile set with 100% drop chance. Yeah, that rules out Railjack. Alright, so we're looking at about 1 every 3 minutes there. We're looking at about 1 every 3 minutes. Cannot be boosted. And so that comes out to 20 per hour, which actually is 3 feeds per hour. That's a fun fact. You can't boost it, whereas Cryotic can be boosted to get to less than 4 per hour. Anti-Stream can be boosted to get you to over about 3 times per hour, or 3 feeds worth per hour. Whilst this can't be boosted, that means for those of you who don't have boosters, it's still just as good. It just means you can't take it higher. That's actually a point in its favour, I suppose. Mostly it's the drop rates that's point in its favour. Also during that mission we got 4 nav coordinates. That's also interesting, because navs here we got 3, well that's 2 technically resource booster. We got 3 in 10 minutes when we did the infested salvage. Here we're getting 2 in just 3 minutes. And if you multiply that up, again, 2 in 3 minutes, multiply by 20, you gain 40. It's less than a feed per hour even there. Nav coordinates, I think, are probably mostly just going to be a as you have them one. You need 10 per feed? Yeah, I've taken that into account. Yeah. Because if you get 1 per 3 minutes, you get 20 per hour, which is roughly 3 feeds per hour, because 21 is 3 sevens. Will be faster with non-steel path 2? I mean, not a lot faster, really. Most of our time was spent moving through the mission. We're killing the enemies very quickly in that mission. to get better than 3-minute time? Probably not a lot. But for those who have weaker weapons, yes, you're right. That would be better, though. Counterpoint, if you're off the sealed path, it's going to be a mission scaled to the number of people in the squad, so you won't have as many enemy spawns. So you'll have more loading time, more movement time between enemies. That might actually reduce it. Potentially. I feel like we should have gotten more, though. If it spawns 100% from prosecutors, where were the other prosecutors? Like, you don't normally get just one permission, do you? Lot to be determined there. Lots of missing information. Lots of empirical data not really expanding far enough. Lots of this doesn't help. Lots of just publish the tables, please. But we don't get that. We have to figure this out as players. Right, let's see, what else we got down here? So we've got some basic resources, we can kind of skip that for the moment. Argon Ciphers opening up vaults. I doubt that's going to be that great, but it's got the added value of, you know, opening vaults. So that could be a thing. Thermal Sludge I already know is just a pain to get. Let's do a Zariman. Zariman is one we can kind of approach quickly and get a feel for the drop rates there. I have a feeling this is going to be a very good one. Let's go to the Zariman. Oh. There's Wally here. Where's Wally? Hello, mate. You're sat inside the iron again. You look like a moron when you do that. Just smacking him in the head all the time. I don't think he cares. He's incorporeal. Right, let's go Zariman. We'll keep on the Steel Path modifiers for the boosts and whatnot there. We'll go to the Exterminate Halaka Perimeter. We don't need anything else crazy going on. Let's just smash it apart. Yeah, we're not going to have a map looter frame, but we are using AoE weaponry. Well, 2 of us are using AoE weaponry, so that's going to blow up a lot of the crates in a pretty wide area already, so that'll scoop up a lot of stuff. Zaku would generate more crate destruction, but the Envoy will do most of it. I also have Carrier. Well, Carrier pop crates close too, but the Envoy will do that more often, more reliably. Carrier will do it if I'm not shooting. I'm just going to focus on the kills, because kills are the time sink. Oh, it's a corpus. Okay. Have some toxin. Pop. Well, there's some void gel. That's 1 drop. It says 2 because I got a resource booster, but it's actually 1 base value. Quick little reload. This would have been a good time to request Zaku.
You're my favorite little meat grinder.
That's fine. He's fine. Kind of just blap in the area. See what resources we get. Secondary weapons deal red crits. That's great. I'm using a primary. I suppose we have also got this. Sure, it might reduce down our farming speed, but we'd also want to be killing this as a matter of course. If you're on the Zariman, why not, you know? Let me get some viral ready. There we go. Max a viral. Slap the damage on it. Lay prime strong. Here we go.
Angel's trying to retreat into the void so it can heal. Follow it and stop.
Oh, I'm on Zeneric. Shit. I thought I was on Madurai. That's not ideal. Can you damage it?
You can't hurt it while those dimensional orbs are out. Use your void body to absorb them.
One more. Got it. There we are. Which is one of the absolute prettiest items in the game. It is a nice looking one. There we go. They got that down. Wonderful. Teamwork makes it. Teamwork makes the dream work, and Warframe makes the bugs work. Oh, that armor strip was beautiful. I'll just put the extra energy out for everyone, I suppose. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Did my bit. And we got it killed. Lovely. Final stage. And its face is blacked. Excellent. Let's get back to killing everything else. I think that is appropriate. I know that's not as fast as we could technically be doing the mission. It doesn't give us any void gel. But if you're doing this, I would seriously recommend killing the angel as well as getting the void gel. You don't need bile that much to skip the angel. Just because of how valuable it is overall. If you're at the point of having you're farming up bile for experimentation purposes, you're at the point of wanting to have a bit of Kuva for ribbon purposes, I'd assume. And guess what? You can get Kuva for void blooms. Exactly, might as well kill the angel since it's there. Even though it slows the mission down, it's valuable. Do it. Also, flappy flappity. Here goes flappity. I mean, that certainly adds an extra bit of heat onto the enemies. Especially as I can do it again already. A poor Sentinel taking a smack here, but it is fine. Where's the big nasty spawning? Anyone see a... Oh, is that the Stalker? Oh, it's a Stalker! Where is he? Oh, yeah, I want to take his face off.
Busted helmets and boots full of blood all over the deck. Corpus are broken.
Gib. Where is he? Does all mark him? I have no idea where he is. Oh, there he is. There he isn't. How do you get Kuva with minions? Archimedean Yonta. Alright, we're done here. Let's see, how do we do? 4 Void Gel Orbs, so that's actually 2 because my resource booster. That's only 2. Oh, Wiltings, you are not the first person to make that joke. Alright, so 2 in how long was that? It was like 5 minutes, 4 minutes? 5 minutes, okay. Again, not a comprehensive test because we could get more, we could get less, but if we take just 2 in 5 minutes, that comes out to 24 drops in an hour, roughly. So that comes out to 2.5 feeds per hour. Just extrapolating from a single data point. Not a smart thing to do, but it's all we got to work with so far. It gives us an indication that it could be viable. Especially as that could be resource boosted. But this is a Steel Path result. So, you know, take it as is. These Archons are very tanky. Boy, do I have an answer for you, Wiltings. Boy, do I have an answer for you. If you check out The Kengineer on YouTube, you'll find over there that there happens to be a very handy little guide. Very handy.
Still not used to this.
How to one-shot an Archon.
Please be kind.
Check it out. If you are struggling with the Archons, yeah, you won't be struggling after that, trust me. If we didn't do Angels, it could be way more. True, it could be more if we skip the Angel. The Angel did take a bit of time. So, browse the Archimedean supply. Someone asking about the Kuva. This is where you get it from. 5 Voidfilling Pinions, 35,000 Kuva. You can do it once a week. Which is, you know, it's an amount of Kuva. It adds up if you're doing stuff here on the Zaraman. And 5 Pinions. It's not that much work. It's 5 Angels. Come on now.
I suppose you could always come back. Oh, goodbye then.
Yes, you could theoretically skip doing the Angel and make your Exterminate faster. I don't know if that would be worthwhile considering how much you're skipping out by skipping the Angel there. The Angel being a source of both Pinions and Arcanes. I would say it would be relatively poor to skip. Just from a general gameplay perspective, the value you can get from Opinions for this, that, the other is worth having. Bile, not so much. But yes, it could make you faster. Trace Ollie, cheers.
All the hands we can get.
Alright, let's see then. What we got next on this list worth looking at, because I don't want to keep doing that one right now. I am also conscious of the time that we have to test things. This is a bit more randomized, because it's the difficulty of finding the vaults. So, let's see what a team of 4 of us can do in terms of finding Argon vaults.
Everyone pulling together.
Let's drop out of here. I'll need to rebuild the squad. I've closed up all the previous message tabs, so if you want to be part of some quick vault hunting, let me a message in game. Make sure you have got dragon keys available. I am going to bring Wukong. I know Titania is probably better, but I'm bringing Wukong. Let's get some dragon keys going. So Sasson wants to be in still, that's good. Edocase wants to be in still, that would be good. Let's get some more keys. I got the bleeding one, decaying one. And that's good. Lovely jubbly. Well, full squad, just like that. Bleeding, decaying, extinguished, and hobbled. There we are. I'll carry all 4 of them because I don't care. I can handle it. You know what, Crow? That's terrible, and you know the rules around here. That was a terrible joke, and you're getting timed out for that one. That joke has been going around so much since the release of the Zaraman. You're getting a timeout on that. It's just a minute. But you know the rules around here. You're a regular. Really bad jokes. We've had enough of that. But don't nip that in the bud. You guys will be going crazy on it. Right then, we don't need this on Steel Path. Let's take that off the Steel Path, thank you. We just need to go through a capture mission and then find the vault. That's it. That's all we need to do. I know, Zom, you're sleeping. Honestly, you'd think the green badge there was just for show, wouldn't you? It's fine, Tom, you're okay. This time.
All
right, Nero. That's a 10-minuter.
Happy hunting.
You just heard that puns are getting timed out, and you decided to post a pun. 10-minuter. Out you go. Next person's an hour. Oh, I forgot this slowed down Cloudwalker as well. Oops, my bad. That is painfully slow. There's nothing out that way. Zom, if anyone else posts a pun, just time them out for an hour. They'll learn their lesson very quickly.
Excellent work. We'll interrogate the captive back at base.
Make sure it is actually a pun and not talking about a pun, of course, but yeah. An hour is well justified at this point. Alright, just checking every doorway, making sure we're not missing any possible thing. Guys have gone that way. That way's been... That leads nowhere. That leads nowhere. Good, so that's all checked. Alright, Zom, you know what to do with Cosmo. Send them away. They have lost their chatting privileges. They've been a bad cat. And they are allowed to meow no more. Out they go. Nope, no door over there. Someone's found an Argon challenge room. That's cute. Not really what we're looking for, but okay. 6,000 seconds. Oh, yikes. A bit over an hour. Well, rip. I mean, stream's less than an hour left on it, so you knew what you were doing. You knew what you were doing, Cosmo. Let it be known, the gold badge of 6 months being on this channel as a subscriber does not protect you from being timed out for breaking the rules. Alright, this leads nowhere. I'm getting scarily close to the exit here. Yeah, this is the exit. Which means that either I've missed it or I've trusted someone down a different route. This ain't good. This ain't good. Is there something hiding this way? Not that I would know. Not even your VIP badge protects you? Nope. Not even the VIP badge protects you. That protects you from other stuff. It does not protect you from getting timed out for breaking the rules of the channel. That ain't how this works. Could it have been near spawn? I checked near spawn, but I might have missed it. Yeah, I should probably definitely bring Titanium for shouldn't I? Alright, let me check this ground floor very carefully. Not there. Not there. Oh, does this lead some... let me check my map this way. Where is this somewhere that I might have missed to check? Alright, that's everything ground-wise. Anything up here? No. Maybe here. What's this? What's this? Here we go. This is a route. This leads somewhere. It looks like someone else is over this way, but I'm checking this way all the same. This is probably not... Okay, this is a challenge room. Never mind. This is kind of showing that this is not a viable farm. Either that or we're just very bad at the game. Probably both. That's a dead end. How do people play with this map up at all times? I don't get it. Are more people posting puns on? Are people really still flaunting that? Oh, good lord. At least I don't have to see them. Yeah, this is not adding up to a farm, is it? This is adding... Oh, hello. This is adding up to a pain in the ass. That's a dead end tile. Anything in here? Nope, that's a dead end. Hold on, Mokria. You got multiple accounts there? I just saw a Mokria get timed out, and now there's a different Mokria. I find that highly sus. I find that exceedingly sus. If you're using a different account to get around a timeout, ooh, that would be a very bad thing to be doing. That would be a very bad thing to be doing. They found it! We need a key. Alright, on the way. Freaking finally. I was actually giving up on it. Where is it? Down here?
An Orokin vault. It's clean. You have the vault.
Well, I checked here.
Let's go.
Did I not check it?
Looks like
did we come through this room?
Stay behind to guard the artifact. It
let's go.
Valuable.
Yeah, if a player's going to be doing these anyway, then it starts providing the resources, the Argon Ciphers, to be used for bile. But new players aren't at the level that they need to care about bile. This is definitely a mid to end game kind of thing. Archon shards are end game. Experimenting with those is end game. I don't care what people feel about the definition of end game. Like, but I can still kill everything in one hit. That's not the definition of end game. The fact that you can kill everything in one hit makes me my person end game, actually. So, experimenting with Archon shards, you've gone through that series quests, game stuff. All that for critical delay. Ugh. Yeah. You need 5 of these for 1 bile feed. At this rate, that would take half an hour. That'd be 2 feeds per hour. You know what? Actually. It's almost like they designed it. If 1 in 6 minutes, that comes out to 2 feeds per hour at that rate. We can do better. Your first Archon shard is Townforge? Nice. Always a good thing to have. Always a good thing to have. Alright, Titania. Let's try something a little bit speedier, perhaps. Let's go a little bit quicker. Oh, I have a message. What is that message? Just a few hours ago, I bought it for my Nataruk. Ooh. That is a noof. This is with a full stack all splitting up? True, yes. Without a full stack, this would probably be worse. But, you know, we can see how we can do. Can I play some Equinox? I could, but she wouldn't be a suitable pick for this right now. She would not be a suitable pick. We need something with speed. And Titania is pretty much the queen of speed. There are some people who look towards Volt or Gauss. I looked towards Wukong originally there, but that was a bad choice. There's some people who be like, oh, but Nova portals. Let's face it, it's Titania.
We received intel that somebody vital to enemy operations is here. Find them and capture them.
It's Titania. You look at that speed boost already. Like, she's got speed number. She got speed on speed dial.
Excellent work. We'll interrogate
what
the
am I stuck
captive
in?
back at base. Your part is done here, Tenno.
And the sooner we find the vault each time, the quicker it. What? I've never seen that before. Okay. Just casually cryopods being carried through. Sure. Yeah, that's a thing. Alright, someone's gone to check that way, so I can check forwards. Let's check around here. Nothing that way. That's a dead end. This is where we came in. Okay. Ah! Got it.
Opened an Orokin vault.
See, that was a lot faster.
Unaffected by the infestation. You have
That
the
was
vault
a heck of a lot
artifact.
faster.
Let's
What did I
go.
just go through?
The corrupted will stop at nothing to prevent that artifact from escaping. This won't be easy.
There we go. Like, if I finished the mission right there and then, 1.5 minutes, that would be a hell of a lot quicker. The Titania tip with Blitz, never sprint. Yeah, problem is, because of the speed drop I've got at the moment, this is the speed with no sprints on. Because of the key I'm carrying. That's the speed of it. When I sprint, it goes stupidly fast, but it's needed. Well, that was breaking my audio. And now it's not. How weird. I'm going to sky right for a bit. Y'all love having bright yellow flames in your face? Everyone does. Yep, there you go. Have some bright yellow flames. What are we waiting on, by the way? Where are they? Where? Sazon? I couldn't find him on the map. Sazon, you're okay there? Alright, well, taking into account that, hey, narrow-minded. Not a terrible pickup. Orokin Safer in 2.5 minutes. Now, if we multiply it out by that instead, if we continue that luck, 1 in 2.5 min, I mean, that's going to be over 4 feet an hour, isn't it? That's nearly 5 an hour. And that's with a minute's waiting on extraction. That's what have happened. Found a challenge room again. Yet no, resist it. Those challenge rooms give fuck all. They really are pretty bad rooms. Like, once you've done them a couple times, you got everything you need there. Is there a Tenet Strophe? There is not. Alright, let's do that again. Let's see what we can pull off a few more times. We're getting some valuable mods in the process, so we might as well. Ciphers might be an alright source of bile. Granted, this is as a full stack squad and boosters can't affect it. That is a pre-booster value, just like the Javlock. This is pre-booster. With a resource booster, that doubles it. If you have things like Smeetagivat, that can bring it higher. If you have Void Fishers, that can bring it higher. Same with the Cryotic, that can bring it higher. So you have to consider those bits. We're looking at pre-boosted values, and then we can see what is and isn't boostable afterwards. Someone's gone that way. Did anyone go this way? Well, it's dead end and there's nothing. One's got the capture target, which is great. Not there, not there. Now, as you do these more, you'd learn what exact doors could be the ones.
Well done.
I'm not that familiar with it, so I'm just checking every single exit to every single tile. On the off chance any of them could be it. That's barred. Yep, that's barred. Up there, that's exit. This leads somewhere. And continues leading somewhere. Oh dear. And continues leading. Oh god, this is really running on for a side room. This is really going on for a side room. Oh god, it's still going. Okay, that's not working challenge rooms. We can ignore that. Those are side rooms I can't go through. So there we are. Oh god, wait, which way is my way out? How did I get here? Here, there it is. Alright, so let's search towards the left. Slightly disturbed there. I think the motorbike's about to go past. Yep, there's the motorbike. Alright, anything more through here? Oh god, it keeps going. Okay, cool, that's a dead end. Now this tile can have an... I'll let the speed buff run out. This tile can have an up to it as well. Yep, here it is, but that's a dead end. Does it go the other way? It does not. Good, that's all scouted. How about down here? That is a dead end. Okay, any other routes out? This is a really big room. Have I missed any routes out? I think I've covered them. I'm going to gamble on the belief I have covered them. Because I really hate that room, it's really complicated. There's just so many things. Oh, this could have an up to it. Let's check. Nope. That's fine. Continue towards extraction. So, checked all the other rooms around here, have we? That's dead end, dead end. Yep, cool, let's go. Oh, that way apparently. This way. No one else has found it yet, which is a little bit... We'll keep looking. Someone else is looking that way, so I'm going to leave them to it. That's the end, which is not good. It means we missed it. Beck. Missed it or someone's down a road that I left them to. Does this go anywhere? Oh god. Nope. We need a train that can go through walls? We really don't. We really don't. Oh god, the bug Armageddon that would be. Alright, so I'm going to drift back this way. Alright, this big room. I wrote it off as done. Maybe it's not. Anything here? Did I come through here before? I'm pretty sure that's a challenge room. Yep, so I've been through here. It can't be anywhere in here, can it? No, it can't. Yeah, the exit is out this way. Follow my fire backwards. That is definitely a closed door, so that can lead nowhere. So we're going back the way I came from. Extraction is out over that way. Is there anything I've missed over here? Definitely closed door. Definitely leads us back to the main room. Sasson is over here. Just join them briefly. I'm pretty certain I scouted this area. Yep, that's a dead end. You already got a ticket there, Master Chief. You already got a ticket. Yeah, I came through here. It's a dead end. Yeah. No other doors out. What are we missing? What are we missing here? This dead end. Yeah, not that. Alright, take care, Ladybug. Catch you around. Okay, I need to get to this door and follow this backwards. Not that way. Ah, someone's found it. Alright, cool. Whew, what did we miss? Where was it?
You've unlocked an Orokin vault. It's clean. You've got it. Something is different.
Oh
about
god,
this
how
artifact.
far back from extraction was this
Looks like
one?
some corrupted stayed behind
Wait,
to
was this
guard
at the very
artifact. It must be valuable.
very awkward spot? Yeah, I don't know if this isn't even on my map. Bit me. Okay. Missed a side passage that way. Whoops. time we on? Yeah, coming up to 6 minutes again. Another awkward one to find, 6 minutes. Which again puts us towards the lower speed. And you imagine that solo. Ooh. Oh, that's not the way out. That is also not the way out. There we go. Titania is definitely the way to get around though. Bloody hell. Woo! Alright, Transient Fortitude though, another good mod to pick up. We got 3 decent mods in a row there actually. I'm okay with that. 3 decent mods in a row. I'm going to give this one more run. Just I want to see... We've had 2 difficult runs. But we're all a bit green on this. Like, I've not done this for a while. I'm getting the feeling these guys ain't done it for a while either. Because we're all just kind of making our way around in very ordinary fashions. We'll give it one more run. Just to get a feel on it. Also good for the corrupted mods. I mean, that's literally their main purpose for Skrilla, yeah. Literally their main purpose. You usually use Nezha? I mean, fair enough.
You are here on a capture mission. You must find, capture,
Alright, so again, I'm gonna have my focus be anywhere other than the capture target. I want to find all the sideways stuff because someone else is doing the capture target. They always do.
Excellent.
Down here
We'll
could be
interrogate the
something.
captive back at base. Your
Weird,
part
looks like
is done here.
Should be, but it isn't. Okay, so I'm going to search from the right because extraction is on the left. This is an exit. And this is an exit leading to more stuff. I didn't know you could go inside of those. Challenge room, don't need to worry about it. Do not need to worry about that challenge room. So we can ignore that route entirely because that was just one exit out of there. Down here, that is a dead end. So we can ignore that. Wonderful. Taking things off the list. This all just loops around on itself. We don't need to worry about any of that. That's towards extraction. Any of the more rooms out this way. This leads down to this. Dead end. Excellent. I think I might be near enough for all of this lot. Just hover through here. No, obviously this leads nowhere. This is a... And someone found it. Done. Excellent.
You've unlocked an Argon Vault.
That means we can just extract.
You've got it. Something is different about this artifact. The corrupted will stop at nothing to prevent that artifact from escaping. This won't be easy.
Ta-da! Am I first here? I'm first here. Love it. Titania for the win. Yeah, I think 2.5 minutes does seem to be about the faster end of good luck with it. Hey, another critical delay. 2.5 minutes is feeling on the quicker end. I know we did that 2 minutes there. 6 minutes on the slow end. So if we average that to 4 minutes, that gives us 15 per hour, which is 3 feeds per hour. Soft average, 3 per hour. And you can't boost that with boosters. Yeah. And that's with a full squad doing it. That's I'm going to leave that. That's absolutely fine, my dude. Thank you very much for joining in on the missions. You have yourself a good one. Hope you enjoy the mods. Marina's not impaired in the speed reduction. Yeah, but it's Marina. It's Marina. Pass. Right, so let's recap where we're at. We've had a look at this one. We've had a look at this one. We had a look at this one. We've kind of had a look at that one. What did we get any from that one? No, obviously I wasn't popping crates. Nav coordinates just kind of fill in. It's not really something you can farm. We've had a look at this one now. We've had a look at that one. Ruling those out as events, ruling that out as just, it's a backup. So we got Railjack, just rare drop, Demolishers, Orb of Alice, and again Railjack. Okay. Which do we do? Well, actually, the demos on Lure, I can already give us an answer on this one. I just need to find the information on it. So, where is... I'll bring that up later. Basically, because I've already done how long it takes to get... how long it takes to do demolition... Not demolition. Disruption. I've already done that measure. I've done it for Lure to find out how to get active relics. I can bring that information up from my own documents. We can multiply that up by the drop tables, and boom, we'll have how much it takes to get somatic fibers. I'm fairly certain this doesn't come out to anything worthwhile, but I already have the info somewhere. So that's fine. In fact, on somatic... Wait, somatic fibers are used in making lure lenses. I have that info. I'm going to look that up. Where did I put that? Lure lens. Lenses. Focus. Focus. Lenses. Where is it? Where's my lens information sheet? Come on, Ken. You know where this is. Just figure it out. Lenses. That. No way, that's MP4. Is it all in that one? One sec, chat. Let me just open this up. Just going to switch this screen for a moment just so this doesn't blind y'all. One sec whilst that opens. There we go. Greater lens, add-on lure lens. Rate at which you can farm lure lens is of course tied to your ability to farm the components. Oh. I cheesed out and didn't give an answer. Well, I hate myself. Here we go. You can get Lure Lens blueprint from the rotation C only about 8% of the time, less than 1 in 12 rounds. To build the Lure Lens requires an idle lens, 5 somatic fibers. Fibers dropped from disruption via demolishers, each one lure having a 15% chance to drop. On average, for every Lure Lens blueprint you'll get roughly 7.5 somatic fibers. Although boosters will get you more. Let's see. Okay, so let's see now with that. So you're looking at then, that's roughly 10 fibers for every... Oh, math. Ten fibers for every roughly 16 rounds. Okay. 16 rounds of disruption for one feed sounds terrible. What are lure lenses? Lure lenses are the 4th tier of focus lens you can put onto your gear. If you need more information on that with the Glock, I think that'll link you it. Hey, there you are. Find out about focus lenses. I did make a thing for it. Alright, guys. Yeah, I don't need to do the search on somatic fibers because I've already done the stuff. You'll get one feed, it's 10 fibers, every 16 rounds of disruption, not counting boosters. Very roughly speaking is what it comes out to, apparently. I'd triple check on that, but I don't need to right now. Mostly, I can tell you, 16 rounds of disruption is not quick. It's not quick to do that. So, I'm going to rule that out, especially because you also probably want somatic fibers for making lure lenses, not for feeding it to the helmet. It's also good for active relics, yeah. But as I say, the point is, you probably want the lure lenses. Lure lenses are far and above better pickups in that regard. Are they tradable? I forgot. I know it's in my graphics information. I'm just going to check on here. Lure Maduri lens is tradable. Yeah. So yeah, that's actually better off as a plat farm. Either as a lens farm or a plat farm. It's not a bile farm. I would strongly recommend against using somatic fibers for bile. Strongly recommend against that. If you do it, fine, I can't stop you, but seriously, no. Just no, don't do that. You'll have spares eventually, perhaps. If you're using a booster, yeah, you will get more fibers and you'll get low-lens blueprints in the end. Then you can use it, but only really if you are that rich in somatic fibers. I wouldn't make it a farm, because after you account for the low-lens blueprints, you're not going to have that many somatic fibers left. But it's not a bile farm. That one comes under the nav stuff of, if you have it spare, sure, why not? So we can rub that one out. So that leaves us Orb-Valis, Railjack, and Morphix. Who cares? Really. So, Tycor Plate and Isos. Do they drop from the same missions? I'm going to guess no, just because the world hates us. Tycor Plate. Currently found in any Imperial mission. Oh, okay. So that can just... It drops from everything, yeah. And Isos is Corpus only, I want to say? Of course it is. It's Corpus only. God damn it. Okay. So you can get those from the Corpus one. We can get these from any of them. Hello? You want a fourth you can join? Yeah, sure. Come on in. Let's do a Corpus Railjack run real quick then. Let's do a Corpus. We'll do the Corpus Exterminate. I think we got time for that. Thermal Sludge Titanium All-Star build. Why do I keep hearing about this All-Star stuff? It's gonna get nerfed. Almost certainly that's gonna get nerfed, but sure. Railjack. Let's go... Will it matter which mission we're on? Maybe, so let's go high level. Let's just try high level. There we go, let's do that one. Ragnafira, I think you're mistaking Thermal Sludge for Thermal Sunder there. Thermal Sludge is a resource which we're looking to farm, or could potentially farm, for bile. I think you're getting two bits mixed up there, my dude. Alright. Let's get cracking through this one. Now, being Corpus Railjack, we don't actually spend all our time in Railjack. I've had my own complaints about that. I'm sure others have. But we'll just go through the loading screen, and then the loading screen, and then the loading screen. Let's see how much we get from said combo loading screens. Let's drop someone off over here.
On scope.
One out.
This is Granum space.
Just wait for someone to be in there.
Target the freeloaders.
Come on. It's fast enough for the Railjack to move. Just get out.
Instruct the tether power plant to fortify
Any second now will be good. Thank you. Someone's out. I think they're going the wrong way, but sure, why not? I was hoping that someone got dropped off there, then we can activate these ones. Alright, cruise ship and priority targets. We need someone on that priority target now. I'll wait until I see someone go inside of that. There we go, wonderful. And now let's go deal with the cruise ship. There should be one other person left on the ship, and they'll help me take down the cruise ship.
Heavy ordnance. Fire torpedoes.
Let me check if that is indeed the case. It is in fact not the case. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, that kills it. Cop. Cheers.
We need assault teams. Prep
Alright.
cruise ship for launch.
Seeing as we don't need to do anything else around here still, let's drop off someone else at the objective. The priority target objective. Let's see, where is everyone now? Railjack and blank and blank. I'm going to assume that means they are... Yep, they're doing the objective in there. That's good. Got this really shiny blue Zaku doing Zaku things. And then we have a literal paladin looking person.
Amplify field resonance.
And then we got the two of us over here on the railjack.
All shields.
We'll keep this one alive. 2 people on the priority target is enough. So let's do some resource farming up here. That killed it. We have a cruise ship. Let me just alert its face. Ah, they've done the objectives. Let's get into here. Wonderful. Oh, I still have all of my dragon keys equipped. Oh shit. Dragon keys. Anyone else has got those equipped? Beware. You're really weak. Is it just me? I think it might be just me. Oh no, Cephalon Rage might also have them on. Whoops! You can see how often I do those.
All Corpus threats.
That is going to make me a little bit weaker, but you know, we'll handle it. I mean, I say I'm weaker, and then everything dies. Maybe it's not that much of a big deal, is it? So it's going to continue this way. God, the 2 people ahead of me are definitely clearing house. This is great. You do not get this level of clear speed with randoms, let me tell you. You guys are awesome. I can barely get in place to use an ability. In fact, this might be about the lowest amount of kills I've managed in a Railjack mission. I love it. Do Dragon Keys affect Necromex? That is a good question. Yes. Now we know. Yes, they do. Why am I nullified? How am I nullified? Eh, whatever. Form up.
Notifying scavenger crews.
Lovely jubbly. Alright then, let's have a look at that. How much did we get in how long? We got 60 ISOS and... none of the other stuff? What was the other stuff? No Tycor plate? So much for that dropping from all missions. Maybe it only dropped from the Grenier and they didn't update it to acknowledge that Corpus exists. No, it says Corpus Ramp Sled. So it's some Corpus stuff as well. Okay, we just got none. Oh. Okay. Well, we learned a couple things at once there, chat. We learned that Dragon Keys affect Necromex, and also we got unlucky. But 60 ISOS, 60 from a 6-minute mission, and the ISOS needs 200. So 60 and 6 min. That comes out to 600 an hour, which is that, but that's with my resource booster. Is that a round number? Yeah. There's probably actually that. Again, limited information, but it gives us an idea. Yeah, I remember Gorilla. I remembered. Cycle plates are stored in the forge until you extract. Oh, good point. Okay, yes, it's probably not awarding that yet because Railjack works in a very funky way. Let's go to the dry dock. Let's see if that affects our figures here. Because if it does, then it might actually make Railjack the place to go, potentially. Or at least for 2 resources. Whilst also giving you a load of everything else. We'll see. I also managed to get half a level on my Bone Widow by testing it. Ah, yes, here we go. We got 97. 5 more ISOS and we got 90. You got 100. Wait, I got 97, so that's not affected by resource booster then. Because otherwise that'll be an ending in a even number, not odd. Remember to remove Dragon Keys? Yeah, I will do. Alright, so the Tycor plate, and there's odd of that too. Are these just not affected by resource boosters? Both of these are odd. Hold on. We did... What was the name of that mission? What was the name of that mission? We did... Calabash. Right, let me look at the drop tables for Calabash real quickly. Sorry, chat, you're about to be flashbanged because I want to show you this as I do it. Let me just find Warframe PC drops. Flashbang. Calabash. Calabash. Ah, 5 ISOs. Okay. So if we didn't get a spare Nullstone, Orcrux, Asteroid, Titanium, or Cubic Diodes, it's probably that. View last mission results, anyone? Alright, I'm gonna leave Dojo. Maybe I can get it when I go back to the Orbiter. Also scavenge open space for more resources. That's usually Titanium, Space Gate. It's usually just Titanium. Okay, there are no Nullstones, so it's definitely not that. Let's see, Orcrux capacitors. We do have 2 of them, but I guess that could just come elsewhere. No, I think these are the ISOs we got here. There's the reason to get 5. Tycor isn't being multiplied, so I guess because it goes into the forge, it's just not affected. Is my guess there. Also, how many creds? 131,000. I mean, that's not bad, is it? 6 minutes, 131,000 creds. That's not bad going, is it? Yeah, that would be 1.3 mil per hour. As far as passive creds go, that's what it should look like. That's what it should look like for a mission at a high level. Yeah. So that's going to be cash. That, because it goes through the foundry, doesn't appear to be affected by a booster. I had 60 ISOs before I docked? Yeah. It's going to be from the cache. So going back to our lovely little notepad then. It said cycle plate. We got 97 in 6 minutes. Possibly not boostable. That's resource boosters coming in handy for pointing out a whole bunch of stuff. But that shows that if you get 100 roughly in 6 minutes, then in an hour it's going to be roughly 1,000, which means Tycor plate we can mostly just write off, can't we? We can mostly write that off, because that would need to be nearly an order... No, it would need to be an order of magnitude higher for it to be worth anything to us. It mostly comes down to the ISOS here, which is about 1.5 per hour at base, but that's just from a single data point. Could be more or less than that. And that was with a coordinated or relatively coordinated squad. So it seems to be across the board. We're seeing, if it's boostable, 1.5 to 2 times. So 1.5 to 2 feeds per hour, and if you can get a booster, obviously you'll increase that. If you can't boost it, then we're looking at more like 3 times an hour is the rough figure I'm getting here. And yeah, and here as well. This one's boostable, so this one's actually a bit of an outlier, but we only have a single data point, so it might not be that. So ultimately, thermal storage I've not checked, but that one might just be too long to farm, or just too awkward for people to farm. Cycle plate we can ignore, nav coordinates we can ignore, Morphix I'm just going to generally ignore as well. So it seems like it's roughly just go for what you want to go. Leggy Boy's saying the good thing about these is that they are very much isolated from most other grinds. So if you find Sevigoth and all the weapons, you probably have a lot of Railjack resources lying around anyways. I mean, yeah, you'll pick up some stuff, but it's more to the point that to make sure that people have plenty of that stuff. But because the feeds are limited to a couple per hour, I wouldn't say that we can replenish indefinitely in that regard. Because here's the thing, this is where it all goes back to, remember guys, this is where it all goes back to. The whole point of this entire question for this whole stream goes back to the fact that it costs 50% bile to remove a shard, and when you feed the helmet, if I take, for example, the cryotic here, I'm not going to actually do it, but if I took this cryotic here, fed it, the second feed is only half as effective, 15%. The next feed is only 3%. So we can effectively do a feed per day because of the recharge on it. It's not worth doing any better. Let's cancel that. Because we simply cannot get feeds fast enough for it to be worth doing such small amounts. We simply can't. We've looked at all the options there. They're all different farms. With the exception of Tycor Plate and Isos coming from the same location. And yeah, pretty much that, actually. I mean, you can get Argon Crystals at the same time as something else here, maybe, but otherwise they're all just so separated. You're limited. You can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Oh, actually, no. Let's not count the event stuff. Let's count the stuff you can farm every day, any day, no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I suppose. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then Argon Crystal 12. I could have just counted here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. At most then, per day, you could get 12 feeds, assuming it resets fully every day. I think it's slightly longer than that, but let's assume every day. 12 feeds. 12 feeds is 360%, one from each type. Which means you can remove 7 Archon shards a day at most. Because the rate at which we farm this stuff, and pretty much everything is equal enough for that, like half hour on any one resource, cool, you've got your dailies feed. I think that's what we're concluding here, chat. Outside of events resources like this one and that one, you can get about 7 feeds a day. Sorry, 7 Archon shard removals a day. Which, to an extent, like for the average of the averages, that's going to be okay because a lot of people are just going to leave their shards in. But what that means is that you're limited to that in a day. You can do more tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after, but it spreads out any experimentation over an extended amount of time. Swapping all your shards from one frame to another, for example, going from Revenant to Revenant Prime, that's using 5 out of your 7 in a day. 5 out of 9 if you account for the fact you can fill this up in a day, which I should probably do right now, with the cheap resources I have lying around. Given how much of a pain in the ass that's going to end up being. Without sentient resources? What about spare parts abuse, Argon Crystals, without sentient resources? Well, that's the thing, with, oh god, where have I gone? Sentient resources, these do not bring you up to max, these bring you up to the neutral. So, like, Calx is low enough, I can demonstrate on. Calx. So if I drop in cubic diodes from Calx, okay, you'll notice the sentient appetite right now, it's not allowing me to use any of these. Nothing is low enough. So it can only bring these up to the 15%. So you would be burning through these, and you'd be burning through resources at double the rate. Like all of these values we figured here, you could just cut those in half. Which means, even with boosters, at most, you'd be looking at around about 2 feeds per hour. And then also needing these. I mean, that's a hell of a lot. That doesn't allow you to experiment. That really doesn't allow you to experiment. If I pop that, we died again. This would bring up cubic diodes, increase its interest in cubic diodes by 50%. 2 anomaly shards, 5 Cetus Wisps. That's relatively quick to get, but it still takes time. 10 Eidolon shards, but that's focus you're losing. 75 cores, 5 flawless, 10 exceptionals. Okay, those ones are cheap. Those ones are cheap, let's be honest, those are cheap. If I did that, how far does it bring it up? Sorry, what? I thought it reset it to neutral. That's not... Oh. It brings it up to neutral on 2 feeds. Yikes. Alright, well, let's cancel that. I'm not going to do that. I'm fine, Ragnarfire. I'm fine with them having a cost to swap around because it's an endgame thing, okay? It's an endgame thing, and they want you to play the game as well. I kind of respect that. What I don't respect is the fact that it's got scaling costs to it. Scaling to the point where you can't really fix it. You can't stock up stuff and then do a big ol' experiment on one day. Because, like, well, the values on bile... Oh, I filled it up. I can't tell from the skin. The values here, this is 10. So I've got 123 feeds here. Tychal plates, that was what, 5,000 a pop? Yeah, it's 5,000 a pop. So that is another 768? Yeah, 768. Argon Ciphers, I got 1. Thermal Sludge, I got 6. Somatics, I've got 7. Oops, 6, 7. Nav coordinates there, 65 a time, I want to say? Yep, okay, well that's a slightly awkward calculation to do. 12540 divided by 65, 192. That's another 192. ISOS, how much are they each time? It's 200, I want to say. Do that for me, it should be easier. ISOS, yeah, 200 a time, so I've got 55, 58 there. Javlocks, I've got another 2. Morphix, if I used them all, 40 time. 5 for 200, so that is 35, 36, 37, 30, 36. Cryotic, having just farmed up a bunch, I've got 5 feeds there. And I've got 1 diluted thermia. I have in my inventory right now, chat, just counting up all these bits here, I've skipped the Omega Isotopes because I'm an idiot, but just counting all this stuff here, I have basically 1,200 feeds. Which at 30% a pop and 50% to take off a shard, I could take off 720 shards. Which is 144 frames worth. So I could do a fair amount of experimentation, but that would use up a lot of my resources. It would burn through a lot. It really would. Oh, I just realised the time. Haha, we've run up a bit. Okay. But that is at the absolute best results there. And then I'd have to farm up those resources again, and you know, we've seen the rates that will come to. I just closed everything. Why is that? Does anyone know how I can disable that feature? Where if you shake a window, it closes everything. Why is that a feature of Windows? I have used it intentionally twice in my life, maybe. And I have been annoyed by it far more times than that. Why is that a feature? Anyway, yeah, you can see the results we're getting here. You have to do a Regedit entry? What? I'm not going to start ranting about Windows. I'm not going to start ranting about Windows. Let's... Thank you, Moon. Yeah, I'll do that in a sec. Alright, so, yeah, there's our results, chat. What's the best way to farm bile? Your favourite way. That's the best way to farm bile, chat. If you like getting Argon Crystals and just doing a couple bile bits, well, that'll get you 1 per day. Yeah, 6 Argon Crystals, you'll be able to do 1 extra Archon Shard per day. Otherwise, pick your favourite farm. What resource do you like gathering? The more different resources you gather, the more Archon Shards you can remove per day. But you're limited to about 7 Archon Shards per day. 9 Archon Shards per day if you skip a day. That's about it. That is really about the limit on that as far as I can see, chat. We've checked the numbers on it. Argon Crystal. Argon Crystal. You know what I mean. Space Cadet, you know exactly what I mean. But yeah, switching the farms around is about the only thing you can do. And even if you didn't have to do that, I mean, unless you got stockpiles of resources, it's going to take you hours to take all of the shards off of one frame. That's a bit. That's actually quite a bit more I think about it. Like, with the exception of Argon Crystals are easy to get. They really are. For all the rest of them, it's hours. Yeah. So ultimately, the best way is to wait for your favorite content creator to tell you how to use your shards and never take them off once you've applied them. That is the best way to experiment. Let me struggle, or someone else if you prefer someone else's guides, that's fine. I understand, chat. I understand. Let someone else do the experimentation for you, and then you don't burn up your time just gathering resources to get permission to try to play the game. That's my conclusion there. And on that note, chat, I think it's time we do a plat giveaway. So, if you haven't already done so, exclamation mark ticket, give yourself a chance to win it. Put that into the chat. If you've already done it, please don't. Just let the bot be there for those who do need to do it. Just those there. I solved the practical problems for Orc. Fair do. Just play the same frame forever, no bile needed. That's a plan, leggy boy. That's a plan. Be a meta slave. If you want to keep your sanity, if you want to keep your resources, if you want an easier time playing the game, you be a meta slave. Don't you forget that. I'm being a little bit facetious, but that's how I feel about the cost of experimentation. Yeah. Earhart saying they should have made it so it's a one-time cost to unlock a slot to put an Archon shard in. Earhart, I think you might be onto something there. That doesn't sound terrible. Like, if you got if this first slot on any frame was free, and then each slot thereafter had an increasing cost, say 25% bile, then 50%, then 75%, then 100% bile, and maybe it was different resources for different frames to mix it up a bit, that would work. That would really work, wouldn't it? Orbeez would say, I don't really care about the shards, they don't make a big difference. Individually, no. An individual shard, like 150 armor, is adding half your health value to your effective hit points. Yes, that is how the math works out. Individually, no. Together, yes. If you put together 5 Azure shards, normal ones, not Talforge, 5 normal ones, that's 25 hit points per second. Wisp at base rank, Wisp at level 30, but base strength, 100% strength, will give you 30 hit points per second. So you've got an entire Warframe's healing ability at minimum strength, or normal strength, versus no energy cost, no nothing cost, just 4 shards slotted in, boom, you have constant healing. They're not nothing. They're not nothing. They can give you 50% power strength. Just thrown in there, 75% with Downforged. They can give you energy off spawn, so you no longer need the preparation mod. You get Harrow's passive in just 3 amber shards slotted in, or 2 if you've got the Downforged. How many other Warframes will give up their passive for just 2 shards? Think about that one. Alright, I've waited long enough for anyone who needs to get a ticket in. Let's do this draw now. If you haven't got a ticket, tough, you've had 3 hours. Alright, the winner today of the Platinum giveaway for listening to me ramble on for 3 hours is Random Numbers. A random number generator has decided to give the prize to random numbers. I'm for once calling it rigged myself. Random Numbers, congratulations. You are the winner of today's Platinum giveaway. I'll be contacting you here on Twitch in the next few minutes to get a hold of your Warframe username and platform, and we'll get that sent on over to you. Congratulations there, Random Numbers. You have conned the AI into serving you. Good job. But to everyone else, thank you very much for joining in. We're going to be raiding on over to another part of the streaming community now. Who are we going to raid? Who are we going to raid today, chat? I realise you've just kind of got the background noise of the helmet system just gurgling away. I'm going to mute that for you. Yeah. Who are we going to raid today? Who are we going to raid? I'm open to suggestions. Does Sevengoth Shadow benefit from Archon Shards? I bloody well hope so, but I haven't checked it. Give it a try, Space Cadet. Let me know. Let me know on that one. Who are we going to raid today? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You know what? It's been a hot minute, and I disturbed Neoness the other day. I owe him a favour. We're going to Neoness. We are going to Neoness today. Raid is active and running. For those of you who don't know Neoness, well, you should by now if you're not... What? We raid him enough times, but you know what? You'll see. You'll see. This dude knows basically everything you need to know about how to make platinum in Warframe. So if you've got a question about that, he's the guy to ask. But that is all we got time for, guys. So I will see you in the next one. We'll be live again on Wednesday. You take care. Bye-bye.